Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and John Carlos, and this is now episode 413. Now on this episode, Dehls is not here because it's his mom's birthday.
Happy birthday, Carrie.
So shout out to Dehls and his mom. They're probably out at dinner right now, and John is coming away with a little bit of a sickness, so he's not in the studio today.
So we can't expose what sickness he has.
No,
he was a little sick on Sunday for sure.
Did you hear what sickness he has?
I did not, and I would love to know, but if I can't expose it, I will.
You know why we can't talk about it?
Why? Is he
No.
Is he burning?
Burning is crazy.
Does he have?
I'm gonna put a little bit of a teaser out there for the audience. It's gonna be a clip. It's gonna be a little bit of a teaser. You guys will see it when the episode comes out. Joe already knows what it is, but
yeah, I do.
You know, you will be able to put two and two together when you see the clip.
Oh my God.
Did he not tell him? He told you privately or something?
No, he texted Joel.
Okay. I see. So you didn't want to tell the group
Yeah, I'll ask John if it's okay. Maybe if I can put the video clip in there.
Can I just see? Like, can you tell me? Like,
Just after the show.
So did he find out? He found out this happened while you guys were recording?
No, we weren't recording. What had happened is that I told him to come to the studio because we had a BR live stream, and then John was like, "Hey, I tested positive, but then I tested negative."
What the fuck?
So he said he might not have. It's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is.
I think the worst.
Is it the Sam Darnold? Is it the what's that shit called, Mono? Is it the Darnold? They got the Darnold.
I plead the fifth.
John, we're not laughing at you.
Oh shit.
We're not laughing at you, John.
No. We are. We are laughing.
I don't know. I'm not into
hope
any
he's
of this
okay.
conversation. Y'all.
We
It
hope
was
he's okay.
Just a guess on
The
my
test
part.
is
I don't know.
positive.
But
It's crazy.
JC just killed me. Oh my God.
Because y'all know exactly what I was
No.
talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
I
that shit took about like 6 weeks, right?
3, 4.
He was out for a minute.
He was out for a while, yo.
Yeah.
I was just asking. I don't
That's
know.
funny as
Shout out to John, man.
Well, that's why John's not here, and that's why Dell's not here, and JC is filling in. And we got a fun show. We're going to talk about Davante Adams requesting a trade. We're going to talk about Week 4 NFL overreactions, and then have a lot of quick hitting NFL segments as well, because there's a lot to talk about every week in the NFL. And then, of course, the NBA. You know, Media Day already happened.
It's back,
There's
baby.
a lot of things to talk about, some storylines we could touch on, and just revisiting again the Knicks and Timberwolves trade, because that's the number one thing to talk about in the basketball world. And I feel like I didn't fully get fulfilled from the conversation we had on the Sunday night recap. We were a little bit tired, it was a little bit late.
sure.
We didn't want to spend too much
Spoke about
time
it for
on
like
it.
25 minutes.
And the full
I know.
details are out.
I could speak on it for an hour and a half, 2 hours if I
I
want
still
to.
feel the same way. We're going to take a break in the show to talk about Prize Picks. Now, if you support Pick a Side, you have to go out there and you have to support Prize Picks, and you can do so by using code PAS, deposit $5, get $50 to play with. Now, we have our plays for Thursday Night Football.
Talk to me.
We're going... I mean, listen, Kyle Pitts has been miserable.
Yeah.
0 catches,
Potential
3
bust.
targets, 0 yards. I'm taking less than 30.5 receiving. Kyle Pitts has been a disaster this season. One of the worst at separating. I want nothing to do with Kyle
Well,
Pitts.
I'm going to the opposite side. I'm taking a guy from Tampa Bay. He kind of gave me nightmares last weekend. I'm going with Bucky Irvin. More than 45.5 rushing yards. Listen, the burst is there. The speed is there. He looks shifty. I'm going to take him. I think he's going to have a great day.
So if you're riding with us, go out there, use code PAS, deposit $5, get $50 back to play with.
That's good. Let's. But now we got
Facts.
JC,
We do
different
have JC. I'm
perspective. It's a
interested to
fresh
see what he says.
perspective, and we can get into that. So, how you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Very fun introduction to the show. Football has been doing great. The Pick'ems, we're not recording today. We're recording tomorrow. Bounce back week. 12 wins, 4 losses. Throw myself 1 spot behind Johnny. And honestly, Mickey Mouse, I should be tied because of his whole Jets-Niners situation. Whatever. It is what it is. But I move into second place after being in dead last. I'm feeling great. Had a great week, and I'm excited to talk about week 5 and have a good show.
I have a playoff game on Sunday against John. So him having this sickness, I love it.
Is he going to play?
I don't know if he's going to play, but I had a good weekend. We're off work tomorrow because of Rosh Hashanah. Shout out to those people. So,
Shout out to the 25%.
Yes, sir. I'm feeling good. I had a good day. Had a good weekend. Watched some good football. Watched some good basketball. Watching the WNBA playoffs, and I'm excited that basketball is approaching, and I'm excited to see that college is going to start up soon. Excited for that. So just the best time of the year is happening.
Yo, did you know that I'm Jewish? By
I
insertion.
don't know why I would know that. But,
What do you mean? Alexander's Jewish.
Oh, I feel like nobody just comes out and say that anymore.
I'm 25% Jewish. What do you mean?
Respect
Come
that.
out and say what? That they're Jewish?
Yeah, I don't.
People don't come out and
pops
say
up.
that they're Jewish?
That never pops up. Did you
What
know
do you mean
that?
by that?
Did you know that?
I don't think people will ever outwardly say whatever religion they are,
Good point.
No, but you just
unless
said.
you're asked.
Of course, but he just mentioned the holiday.
Yes.
And so that's why I brought it up.
I didn't even know that was a thing. You know,
No, I'm like,
I'm
now
out of
I'm
touch.
feeling hurt.
I'm out of touch.
Now
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to have to
don't
write an
know.
apology email to
that
me.
never like.
What is it, Rosh Hashanah?
Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah. Okay. No, yeah. Listen, I'm out of touch. I don't even know what this is. Honestly.
Yeah, he confused the shit out of me too. But shout out to you. What are you doing tomorrow?
What's confusing? Nothing.
Okay, got it.
He's celebrating about doing nothing.
Okay.
That's how a lot of people celebrate
Alexandra do anything different?
So it's different for when we celebrate certain holidays, like Yom Kippur. She'll fast. I'll respect her. Say, hey, great job, hon. And then we'll eat dinner. We'll have the Hanukkah dinner, but for Rosh Hashanah, we really don't do anything.
You have kosher?
No.
Oh.
No kosher
That's
meals.
like a Jewish thing.
Yeah,
isn't
that
it?
is Jewish.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
That's why I was assuming.
No, I'm with you. For Thanksgiving,
There we go.
when their grandpa was still alive, they did have kosher meals because he was the one that was definitely the most stern on.
So it's like a throwback back in the day.
So
for
he
them.
passed away. Funny as hell. Grandma just stopped eating kosher.
Oh.
She just went back to eating
Yeah,
whatever
no, I
the
get it.
hell
That
she
back
wanted.
to back was crazy.
What
You was like, so he passed away funny as hell and called me. Called me.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
called me.
apologize. No, he didn't. It was
So what
nothing
is
funny
kosher?
about him
Yeah,
dying.
that's what I was like.
It was sad.
What's kosher?
It's blessed by the priest or something along those lines.
I've had it
I think that's what it is.
Is it
And
good?
Yeah.
Yeah, what type of food?
I
Depends.
liked it.
I'm not the hugest of fan. I think it's no gluten also. So maybe I could be really wrong.
I had it before. It's pretty good. When I had
Where'd
it in
you have it?
I had it in Chicago. In Illinois, you know, I ate it and it was pretty good. I liked the supermarket, the food. I didn't have a problem with the food. The food tasted pretty
Kosher
much normal.
food. Let's see.
They had a whole supermarket, kosher-based
I had no
supermarket.
idea.
Food was really good though. Food was very good.
So how are you doing, JC?
Doing good. I mean,
So you have a Jets hoodie on.
yeah. It was the first. It was the first hoodie I could find. Real quick, you know, it's kind of last minute, but I'm here.
He's repping, man.
Yeah.
All right, so kosher diet requires you to never eat meat and dairy together, and to ensure that the equipment used for meat is never used for dairy and vice versa.
That's true.
Simply put, meat and dairy should never cross paths.
So it's just about how they prepare it.
Correct.
There's nothing
Yeah.
different about
I
it.
thought
make
it was
sure
that it
dairy
was
and
blessed
meat
by.
aren't together. Okay.
I'm an idiot. There's no way around it. I am. You can
Bro
tell
lied.
I'm definitely more Catholic than Jewish.
He said, "Bro, lied." I'm crying. Yo, real quick. Real
said
quick.
blessed.
I gotta ask everybody
thought
in here
so.
real quick. Yo, do y'all like 2K25 or y'all don't like it?
I love 2K20.
It's been hitting.
Okay, I don't think it's that bad. The shooting blows mine.
I don't think the shooting's that bad.
You know what
Really,
you
you
have
can
to
shoot
do?
with other players.
Green
Yes.
up.
So I played an online game. I won, but I went off the strength of the other guy being just as ass as me, and I was just a little better than him. But like, I can't really shoot. You shoot with the stick or the square button?
No, I shoot with the square button. I've never in my
Bro, I
life
shoot with the
shot
stick and it works.
I also don't play regular 2K. I play my player and my player only.
No, I play rec too, but I decided like I want to
I've
play an online
completely
game.
changed my settings to where the pro stick is completely for ball handling, and the
That's
square
fire.
button is just straight for shooting.
That's genius.
Yeah, because I don't want it to mess up when I try to go
will
up and it
say
shoots.
I've heard about rhythm shooting. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, that's
where
what
you
I'm
go
doing
down
now.
and up.
That's what I'm doing now. It works.
People
Does
are
it?
cheesing with it. It's
It
pretty
definitely
I'm good with the
helps.
square button. I'm mostly
Me
playing quick game, my GM. You know, I'm a my GM, my
They
league
got
guy.
some them
good. So
some
you
shit
wouldn't
in
last
that.
1 second in the rec.
I've played the reg before. I
What
don't.
player you had? What's your build?
I had I played like 3 years ago.
He's ass. You can tell by his face.
No. I
I
actually
see that.
wasn't. I wasn't nice. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. and say
You was
I
a role
nice.
player?
I was 1,000% a role player. I did the cutting. I was a defender, fast break.
Every team
throws
needs
to me.
that.
Yeah, I was a rebound. Like I was like Ben Simmons for real. Like really like
Every team needs that.
Ben Simmons. I wasn't doing that, but I just was bored because I'm like this role player shit in 2K
not
is
fun.
boring as hell.
It's not
I'm
fun.
They
so I
make you
just
stay in the
stopped playing
corner
it.
and stuff?
Yeah, I was in the corner.
Wow,
They was
that-
like, "Oh, Rich, stand in the dunker spot." When I come down, of them hit you.
that'd
Okay,
be dumb
sometimes they don't hit me. I don't get the ball for like 10 to 15 possessions.
You gotta start yelling at your teammates.
Nah, but I'm a role player, so it's like
Now you can just straight up say, "Yo, give me the fucking ball."
nah, because I tried that one time. It was bad. Like, I tried to get Mixie.
Bro knew he wasn't
It was
like that.
That's funny.
So I was just like, I think it was my build. I just made a bad build for like a superstar player. So like, yeah, I stopped after that. I didn't want to do that.
I made Anthony Edwards. Average 20 points a game. Average like 2.5
In the
steals a
rec?
game in the rec.
Okay.
I made
Gotta
Anthony Edwards.
clarify it.
What do you mean by that?
Because I'm saying maybe in my career you average 20, but in the rec is it different?
Oh no, in the rec I'm averaging 20.
Okay.
I'm shooting 49% from 3. But it's definitely ass because sometimes I feel my jump shot should be the same every single time and it's not. So I feel you.
I saw a video of some RNG from like some badge plug video, and it's like every jump shot, like the first jump shot's not the same as the second.
not.
It's not the same as the third or the fourth or the fifth. And then the game doesn't really let you make 7 consecutive threes in a row. Like
I
doesn't.
respect that
I do too.
because you ain't doing that shit in real
But
life.
if you get hot, you get hot.
damn,
And
but if you
I
know your
need-
jump shot, you should be able to at least make it though.
yeah,
Listen, I'm fine with my
a game,
career
bro. Nobody-
knowing your jump shot and being able to make it. I think they have to have a cap on it. You can't make 7 threes in a row. It's unrealistic. And I like at least some sense of realism to the game, but I like playing quick game. I like playing with regular teams online. And with that, I feel like there has to be a combination of real shot timing with also real player percentage because there's too many teams and too many players that you can't learn all of their jump shots. And there's players that they shoot 40% from 3 and you got 5 open threes with them and you miss every single one because their jump shots are terrible. Like somebody's jump shot who's awful in 2K.
Brandon Ingram?
Brandon Ingram is awful, but I was thinking about Kevin Herter.
so bad.
I heard this shit.
When
Really?
I play with the Kings and I get a lot of open looks with Kevin Herter, his jump shot is just really quick and it's hard
You
to
know who
time.
I'm money with, jump shooting wise? Bogdanovich from Atlanta. His jump shot.
Bogdanovich,
All his
yeah,
jump
he's
shots
tough.
Whose
smooth.
shit is money? Malik Monk shit is
You know
fire.
whose
Is it?
shot is
Yes.
money?
James
PJ
Harden.
Tucker.
Oh,
He's
are you
in the
using
game.
him?
I don't use him anymore.
Oh, I was about to say he's in the
But
game.
I'm saying 2K20 on the Rockets when I played the 5-out lineup. PJ Tucker,
He had the
I
gold-
would drop 30 with him.
He had to go corner
2K20,
specialist.
Somebody who's really nice with his jumper, no funny shit, was Alan Crabb. When he was on like the Portland Trailblazers with Dame and shit, me and my brother used to go back and forth, Golden State versus Portland in like my leagues, and I'd literally like have a field day with him.
I feel like we all have that
Harkless.
one player. Mine was
Yeah,
Sasha
Alan Crabb was
Vujacic.
OD.
Sasha Vujacic in 2K14 or 2K, I think 13. For whatever reason, I just used to green up with Sasha when he was on the Nets.
Yeah, I have a John Morant build right now. I don't know if I'm gonna go to the rec yet. I'm still
should pull
playing.
up.
Why
that.
don't you just play with me?
I got a power forward.
Pause. Resume. Whatever you're into. That being
I
said,
think I gotta work. Let me work.
but it's
Give me
all
a
right
week.
if you suck.
So wait, he's
No,
a
I'm
point
saying give
guard?
me a week to-
It's a point guard?
Yeah, it's a point. I'm John Morant.
I'm
I
like
ain't John Morant.
Yeah, but what do you have?
I have a two.
Do I have a
I
power
just
forward?
built a center.
Hey, here
We
we
can
go.
play right
I have
here.
a
Power
power
forward.
forward out here.
Bro, we could play. Who cares if you're ass?
18,
I just
11, and
wanna- let me get
6.
rhythm first.
But
Give me
I'm
a week.
nice, bro.
We'll play.
I've always
Bro,
been nice at 2K.
Bro, we can play tonight.
Give me tomorrow. I'm off.
That's why we can play tonight.
I'm off tomorrow too. We could be
I'll
out.
play tomorrow. Tonight I gotta get. Tonight I might get my GM bag.
You're
I might
losing
get my
me. Bro said I'm John Moran.
Are you?
I am John Moran. That's
What's your
my
bar?
call.
Like, are you like an all star? What's it like MVP?
I'm gold right now.
I'm MVP right now.
Okay,
I'm
tough.
different, bro.
The red one?
Yes, bro.
Oh, you're him?
I'm dead nice, bro.
You are him.
100%.
You made Anthony Davis, right?
Yeah, tried to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shooting be blowing my shit throwing that shit though.
It's a hard game.
That shit annoying.
love it,
I'm
though.
nice off the string because I know basketball. I play ball in real life, but like the jump shot, like one game I'll go 7 for 10. The next game I'm like 1 for 7. I'm
Oh,
like, yo,
wow.
like, I just can't.
I
Like,
generally like 2K though. It's bad fun.
it
Like,
is.
this one's
I
really
like
fun.
the movement a lot
Yeah,
in
the
this
movement
game.
is
This
dope.
shit make me feel like it's like real life.
The only thing that's whack is the steals.
Yo, the passing
easy.
lanes in the rec are ridiculous.
They
bro.
are whack.
Bro, I average like 3 steals a game and I have like a 50 steal.
It's
They gotta
nuts. You
patch the
stand next to
steals.
somebody in a quick game and you pass it.
They gotta patch the
the
steals. The steals are
You
terrible.
gotta really
in that game.
like.
And my steals in 91, so I have gold glove, I
Yeah,
have
so you
gold
probably steal
interceptor. Yeah,
everything.
OD. I definitely do.
Now, the first topic of the show, Davante Adams requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders.
about time.
He was on the Up and Adams show, and he found out on the show that Antonio Pierce had liked an Instagram post about Davante Adams not being on the team, and he was shocked. He said, I don't know where that came from, but you could kind of figure out that things were leading to this because Davante Adams didn't play this past Sunday. We all speculated that in the offseason he might request a trade out of Las Vegas.
He was hurting.
Yeah, I understand that. But this is what I've been trying to tell you.
Talk to me.
I told you reinforcements are coming
You did
to the
tell
New
me
York
this.
Jets.
You did tell me
His
this.
wish list is the Jets and the Saints. The Jets, it's not even plus odds for the Jets to land him. It's like minus 120.
110. Oh, is it
No,
1?
minus
It might minus 110 or 120.
Minus 200. I saw it
crazy.
Wow.
right before I got
Okay.
here.
Listen, I think I think we're all under the assumption that Davante Adams is coming to the Jets. Do we think he is?
Is
that
I
fact?
think he gets traded.
There's a couple
Where
of
he
it.
goes.
I like Pittsburgh.
I hear I
would
see
be
where you're
fire
coming
for him.
from.
I like Pittsburgh. I think they have a young brewing star in George Pickens who needs maybe a little bit of mentorship. I also think that's a team that is looking at their division in the AFC North. Outside of Baltimore, everything looks a little funky.
Yeah.
You know, you have Fields out there. You have Pickens, solid. You have a nice little cool running game. You have Pat Fryermuth, and you have an elite defense.
That defense.
Why not? Like, and I know Tay wants to win, and I get it. Pittsburgh doesn't have the quarterback that kind of makes it a solidified or at least a championship contender team. But you want to win. You don't want to go to a two-stack team. You want to just stay competitive. Why not go to Pittsburgh? You have Mike Tomlin out there. You have that defense. You have a solid offense.
I don't know if it's that he doesn't want to go to a 2-stack team. I think he genuinely wants to compete for a
Yeah, I
championship.
think he just wants to win.
However, thinking outside the box, Commanders. Put him next
was
to
thinking
Terry
about that, too.
McLaurin.
That's
Terry
not
McLaurin now gets to get away from getting number one looks all the time. Davante Adams is accustomed to that, knows what time it is. No slight at Terry. This elevates Terry, and honestly, I'd feel more comfortable about your bet with DJ Moore and Terry McLaurin.
I feel comfortable right now.
I don't disagree either. However, Jaden Daniels
He's hooping.
is a superstar already.
Okay.
You look at every
Overreaction.
advanced stat, he's number one in everything. EPA, completion percentage over expected, success rate, completion percentage, period. Forget about over expected. In the 80s for a rookie. He's been insane. He's doing this with Terry McLaurin. He's doing this with McCaffrey, Noah Brown, and I believe and Zacchaeus.
You mean De'Ami Brown?
No, he has
Noah
Brown.
Brown's on the team
Yeah.
too.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So no, all good.
And
You add Davante to that, and now you have Terry and Davante, and already the best offense statistically in football where we stand going into week 5. That offense becomes scary and a legitimate threat to win the East.
Oh, God.
I'm not disagreeing too much that Jaden has looked awesome. I think he's looked awesome. He's looked really damn good. I was looking at the schedule this week. The Cleveland Browns, they travel to Washington to play them. I will never pick the Browns again this season. I think they're that bad of a team, but
You're fucking cooking.
their defense is really good, and I think that's the first real defense that Jaden's going to go up against. So I want to see that because so far it's been the Cardinals, it's been the Bengals, it's been the New York Giants, and the Buccaneers. Week 1, they're a good defense, and he was all right that game. So I'm kind of waiting to see the competition uptick, but I don't think it's crazy. I mean, you look at how the Eagles look; they're inconsistent right now.
We're injured.
Still inconsistent. You know, you are
Here we
injured,
go.
and then the Dallas Cowboys, their defense isn't good.
They're
So-
ass.
They're ass.
They're ass.
Yeah, they're a mediocre team. So the Commanders, they could win the NFC East, but we have to see the competition uptick a little bit before I feel 100% confident in that. Davante Adams, what do you think, JC?
You know, I'm a Jets fan. I got the sweater on. I've been talking about this with my friends since like the last year. I would like him on the Jets. I have I don't know if it's a hot take. I share the same opinion with some Jets fans or whatever the case may be, but I feel like these first 4 games, Garrett Wilson going against really good to great corners week 1, it's just not cutting it for me. Like, listen, we could say that a lot of the thing is chemistry related, but going up against PS2, going up against Schneed, and then who do we face week 1?
You went Travarius Ward.
Yes.
Travarius Ward, and
Close
then
enough, Irv.
and then Christian Gonzalez.
I fucked up so bad.
I have yet to this is a team that I feel like they're trying to compete for a championship. I feel like Davante Adams alleviates a shit ton of pressure off Garrett Wilson, and Garrett Wilson will have the opportunities against number 2 corners, which I think he can feast on. Like Drew said, Davante Adams has been in this situation, getting guarded by number 1 corners. You have the chemistry that you've had for a long time with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. I think the move makes a lot of sense. I think Joe Douglas is trying to do everything in his power to, kind of I don't know if we have a window right now because we're 2-2 and we just came off a really bad loss. But
we're talking about a chip.
Yes, I believe we would be competing for a chip. I'm not high on Saleh as a coach. I've been out on Saleh for like a year and a half now. I'm not high on him. But I think the move to get Tay makes sense. You have the chemistry with Aaron Rodgers, and then you have an unhappy player, disgruntled player for the Jets, Hassan Reddick. You could flip him in a couple picks to Las Vegas. I mean, if Las Vegas is a good organization like they claim to be, I think that they should deal him to the Jets. The Saints also would be cool too as well, but I'm a Jets fan, so I'm gonna ride for the Jets. But I think Davante Adams in a Jets uniform, it definitely takes our offense to the next level, and I just would like to see it.
I think the major plus with Davante Adams is that now you have a receiver that comes in that knows Aaron Rodgers like the back of his hand. That's really it, and they can connect on these routes that we haven't been connecting on recently to begin the season. The truth about the Jets is that in order for us to make a deep playoff run, it's going to be off the strength of the talent on the team alone. It's not going to be the coaching. If this was a roster coached by Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, DeMeco Ryans, Andy Reid, Kevin O'Connell, Mike Tomlin, you could throw Sean Payne in there. I think he's a better coach than Robert Saleh, of course.
Everybody's a better coach.
I think if you just give us one of those coaches, we're talking about a real contender, but the players have to shoulder so much of the load. And Matt Ryan said this after the Jets game on CBS Sports. He said that after that game, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, what I'm saying to everybody, I'm saying you guys got to get on my page. It's not about getting on the same page with everybody else. Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He knows what he's doing. He knows what defenses he's seeing. Garrett Wilson has to become better in understanding how Aaron Rodgers sees the game. Everybody else, they have to get on the same page as Aaron Rodgers. Tyron Smith, so far, he's allowed 3 sacks in the last 3 games. He's looking pretty bad right now. The Jets are top 10 in pass protection, so I think that it's our offensive line has been a strength of ours, but nothing is easy with the offense. It's nothing easy. It's not like LaFleur's offense or Shanahan's offense. A lot of it is really off the strength of Aaron Rodgers playing like Aaron Rodgers usually plays. And if Davante Adams comes to the Jets, we now have somebody that while we go through this learning curve already has learned that with Aaron, and then it would just help Garrett and Breece Hall get up to speed.
Yeah, the conversation gets very easy when we talk about Davante Adams getting added to the Jets. You add one of the best receivers in football to a team that has Aaron Rodgers, a quarterback that he's already had years and years of success with, and now Garrett Wilson gets to move to the 2.
Yep. And then Mike Williams becomes your 3.
And Lazard, who's been pretty solid for
it
you guys
everything.
this season.
It's because of the chemistry.
The chemistry more than anything is what makes it easy
everything.
to talk about the New York Jets.
The chemistry jumps up. You know who drops?
No, we know. Wait, unless you're talking about Breece.
Garrett Wilson?
No, it's Garrett Wilson. Yes, he does.
I think Garrett Wilson will only get
drops
better from
in the
that.
grand
Not like in
it
talent,
will benefit him 1,000%.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I think if
When you
Tate
say
gets
drop,
there,
do you think like not reach like 1,000 yards, like
No,
production wise?
No, he's gonna get
drop in the
Okay.
way that people will talk about
because
him.
when you bring Tay in, Aaron Rodgers is going to immediately gravitate to Tay. They have that relationship. They have that continuity. And he's already gravitating to Allen Lazard. Now, of course, way more than Garrett. But you have them two there. Those are his 2 guys. Those have been his 2 guys for essentially damn near a decade, And then Garrett and him are still trying to figure things out. It's not to say...
I think it helps Garrett.
It definitely does. I'm not saying it doesn't.
Garrett.
But Aaron, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, he's going to be on the field looking at defenses. I'm going to go to my guys that I trust the most. And that's not to say I don't trust in Garrett Wilson and the talent that he is, but I have Tay. I have Lazard. Those are guys that I've just been in the in the mud with. I've been fighting wars with. So it's just like it's going to be a difference to where Tay may come in and Garrett may be the better talent, but Tay immediately comes in. He's the number 1 guy. He's going to see a shit ton of targets.
That's definitely why we would be getting him to be the number 1 guy.
Yeah, for sure. And it's Aaron Rodgers and Tay.
The first 4 weeks, I don't want to sound down on Garrett Wilson or whatever. I think he's supreme. I think he's supremely talented. But he's
getting open.
He's getting open. But a lot of the shit is not last week. He was pretty boxed last week. But a lot of the shit is like you guys said, miscommunication and shit. But this is a win now. This is like a win now season. You know what I'm saying? Like the audition, basically this was a 4-game audition for Garrett Wilson against top corners, and he hasn't really done. He hasn't really done you know what I'm saying? We gotta get Davante Adams.
I will say this, and this is where if you're a Jets fan, this is a good bad thing. It's a good thing because you're getting Davante Adams, but the bad part about it is that you have to, in a sense, swallow the pill of I was kind of wrong on Garrett Wilson.
I don't give a shit.
I agree. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care either. But what I say is Garrett Wilson now moves from the conversation of, I'm with Nico Collins, I'm with AJ Brown, to I'm with Jalen Waddle, I'm with Smitty, I'm with those types of wide receivers, which are still great. Those are amazing guys, but that's not the upper echelon receiver.
That's fine. That's what we get. That's why we get Davante.
And that's why you get Tay.
Because
he actually is one of them.
I don't have any attachment
Oh, no,
or anything
I'm just
towards
here
Garrett
talking
Wilson.
to
You know
one
what I'm
person
saying?
and one person
I'm high on
only.
his talent, though. I'm high on his talent. I
You
just don't know right now.
This is ridiculous right now, and the reason why it's ridiculous is because Garrett Wilson's a great player.
He is
is.
awesome.
He's
And
a great
Garrett
player.
I think
Wilson-
great's the perfect word.
Garrett Wilson is a great player.
He
He's
is.
a top 15 receiver, and he could even
I
jump
agree.
even higher. And we're having this conversation of
had him like top 8 talks
Devontae Adams.
month ago.
I never had him
Tyreek
in
Hill.
the top 10.
Tyreek Hill.
Coming into the season, no, I did not. I never had
Top
him in the
15,
top 10.
I'm
I'm not
firm
gonna
with
say
that.
you're lying because you might yell at me, but I will say I don't know. I feel like you
I might yell at you or you might lie.
No, I'm saying
and
that's what I said.
fact
I'm not
check
gonna
you.
say you had him in top 10 talks.
There's
No,
a- there's
you
a-
definitely did. You had him in top 10 talks.
Tyreek Hill. That's most definite. That's
That was
out
the
there.
off-
That's a fact.
That was the offseason.
When you
last
had Aaron.
season.
Yeah, yes.
before
Yeah,
Tyreek
when
Hill
I
went
thought
17.
Aaron
I,
Rodgers
think-
was
I
gonna
feel like
be
you and
healthy.
Dehls coming in this offseason definitely said he was creeping. He
I mean,
was,
Yeah,
he was
but,
in top 10
I mean, you're
talks.
right. But I didn't have him in my top 10. This is my top 10.
I'm here.
I remember it off the top of my
Okay.
head. Justin Jefferson,
Of course.
Tyreek Hill,
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb,
Yes.
Jamar Chase,
Show.
AJ Brown,
Ayuk.
Amon Ra,
Yeah,
Ayuk.
Yep.
They're
Devon-
interchangeable.
Devontae.
Then I had Mike Evans was in my top 10. I had Nico Collins. And then my number
Definitely
10.
did have Adams.
Yeah,
There's no way you
It might,
didn't
I
have
might have been
Adams.
Devontae at
might have
10
been
or
Puka.
somebody else. I didn't have Puka in my top 10.
I think it was Garrett.
I'm almost positive
Puka
it
for
was
sure.
Devontae
Devontae
Adams.
had to be Devontae Adams.
Because you and I had that conversation before the show
I think
started.
he was a little bit lower
Keenan
on
Allen.
Devontae than you.
Keenan I've always loved, but he just can't stay on the field, unfortunately. I'm
pretty sure it was Devontae.
pretty sure it was Tay. But if you had Garrett Wilson over Tay, this is where
Yeah, I didn't have Garrett Wilson in my top
Okay, I
10.
didn't
I'm not
think so.
looking at the list right now. I'm just trying to look at receivers that are in that range.
Did you have Garrett Wilson over DJ Moore? Probably.
No, coming into
Really?
the season, no. DJ Moore had a better season.
What
so
about Terry McLaurin then?
I had Garrett over Terry.
Yeah,
That seems
curious.
I had, let me see, top wide receivers
Come on, brother.
of
1,011.
23. You better start respecting Terry.
Nah, but
McLaurin.
yo,
like
but,
Terry.
but
He's cool.
like in the grand scheme of things, like obviously it's revisionist history now, but you could see why him and Dehls are going crazy. Garrett Wilson was putting up
course.
1,000-yard seasons with
Zach
fucking
Wilson.
Zach Wilson, Tim
So
Boyle.
why can't he do it with
That's
Aaron?
what I'm saying. I just think they're not on the same page.
confusing
It's a
me.
lot of the cadence.
Confused.
Aaron Rodgers
And
has a
why
lot
does
of cadence.
Brees Hall suddenly suck now?
Oh, tough. Don't even get me
I'm fucking wondering.
started on
I'm
that.
wondering.
Nah, I don't know.
Because that's my guy, and he's been axed.
I don't know.
Saquon clears him.
Who?
Saquon
Saquon?
clears
Okay,
him.
I'm fine with that.
No,
And so does Derek.
Nah, facts.
I'm here saying you're right.
You,
Nah,
gave me,
facts.
you gave me too much pushback.
Yo,
I didn't
last
like
year
that. I
he
didn't like
led the
that.
league
Yo,
for
can
running
I'm
backs
gonna
and
keep it. I'm
receptions.
gonna keep it a G. I agree with you. Like I was high on him. Where the fuck did he become the second best running back in the league?
Ask him.
Yo, last
Nah,
year
where the-
coming
nah,
off
for real.
of
You
the torn
definitely hyped
ACL,
up Brees Hall.
deservedly
No, no.
so. He was with the Jets.
I think he was
all
the
season.
second best running back in the
deservedly so.
league, though.
He ain't earned it.
He averaged like 4.5 a carry.
He
with
didn't
one
have
of the
1,000
worst
yards
O-lines in
rushing
the
last
league.
year.
He didn't, but he had 92 receptions.
So now I remember it perfectly. I didn't have
Zach
Garrett.
Wilson's safety blanket, bro.
But that's still, you got to catch the
Come
ball,
on, bro. Like
I
that
didn't
shit, that
have
shit, a
Garrett
lot of that shit's
Wilson
inflated.
in my top 10, but I did say outside of these numbers of receivers, I don't know if I said Garrett Wilson or Ayuk. I basically said that Garrett Wilson, outside of like the upper echelon tier, he could be argued with everybody else.
Like Amon Ra and shit like that.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
okay.
Garrett Wilson,
Fringe top 10.
we talk about Davante Adams coming into the offense and having that relationship with Aaron Rodgers. Has anybody thought that Davante getting that attention, now Garrett Wilson becomes the beneficiary of all the receptions and the yards in the offense?
Yeah, that's
like he could very well still have a blow
Tay
up
was
season.
getting those get that defensive attention though, and Aaron Rodgers was still saying, "Fuck it." Tay is out
He
there
was still
somewhere.
producing,
He
though.
was still slinging that
To
shit
me,
to Tay.
I just care about winning games. I just
Yeah.
care, and
And
we
I
need,
care about winning fantasy football games.
because-
and Tay goes to the Jets, we're up.
and I know for a fact right now, outside of Garrett Wilson, there's not another reliable receiver.
Yeah.
I know Allen Lazard is playing well, but come on, you don't trust Allen Lazard to separate.
Would you trade for Amari Cooper for less?
No, Devontae. It's Devontae.
I get it,
nothing.
but if that's unfortunately not in the cards, and
It's
it doesn't,
Aaron the GM. So, he's going to get. we're
but if
getting
you brought in
Devontae.
Amari Cooper, you'd be hyped. And
Yes.
also, I lied on Brees Hall. He had 76 receptions or 70 some receptions.
Well, listen, the case for
know.
Brees
You
Hall
said
is that
95?
I
last
said
year
92. I was wrong.
he was second in scrimmage yards amongst all running backs, players in general. No, running backs.
I know what you
actually.
mean. Yes, running backs.
Brees Hall was amazing last year, but he was also very inefficient yards per carry wise. But all the advanced stats,
4.5.
all the advanced stats pointed to him being elite, and I thought he was going to take a leap. Even with the run blocking for the Jets not being the best, he should be playing better. Like it's
100%.
no doubt about it.
4 yards
It's no
on
doubt
10
about
carries.
it.
Braylon Allen's playing
irresponsible.
better than him.
So until he starts to play better, because we came into the season thinking, okay, the Jets could be a run-first offense and run this offense through him, and he could have a breakout season. And he fit the profile to have a breakout season. Great advanced numbers, running back headed into year 3, but really year 2 healthy because year 1 was cut short with his ACL injury. He had all the makings to be a breakout player. The season's not over yet. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, after you... I can't stand you sometimes.
What did I say?
No, I cannot stand you sometimes. You really know how to piss me the fuck off.
Here we go.
You
Enlighten
are
me.
unbelievable.
What
He
did I
goes
say?
and now it was Ken Walker. He's better than Breece Hall. It's
Oh,
not
so
even a
it's
question.
Say
of
clear- you
course.
say clear
No. I'm not even talking
I still
about
think that's
2
the
nights
case.
ago. I'm not talking about 2 nights ago. I'm talking about when they both came out of the draft and he really liked Ken Walker when Ken Walker was balling, but then Breece Hall went out there and he was the best rookie running back by far, gets injured, unfortunately. Kenneth Walker finishes the season on 1,000 yards. Oh my God, Ken Walker. He's bad. He's the best running back, best rookie running back.
Who was my RB1 in that class? You remember?
Brian Robinson. I'm a real one.
That's my
I'm
dog.
real. Yes,
Is
I
he
know.
RB1
He's
right
better,
now?
right? He's better than Brees right now too.
My fucking goodness, man.
I mean,
Give it a
I'm not
rest.
saying the season's over.
Just right now where we stand.
I'm
Through
not
4
saying
weeks.
that-
He's playing
I
better.
wasn't even
Through 4
talking about
weeks.
Brees. I'm talking about the Jets in general. I don't give a damn about Brees. I want him to play better, but I
don't
don't.
give a damn about
I don't.
Brees.
I really don't. I really don't.
Why?
The only skill position player I love
Is
is
Garrett Wilson?
Garrett.
Stop.
No, you know what? And you want to know why?
Stop.
No. You want to know why?
Stop.
No,
Brees
no,
is
wait,
Dehls'
it's
guy.
easy.
That's not
Oh
my guy.
my God!
Is Brees not Dell's guy?
And you want to know why he says that? I don't care about Brees because he was wrong about Brees. Because
No,
Ken
he's playing
Walker
like shit.
and Brian Robinson. Oh, because he has one bad game, he's shit.
He's been ass every game. Pretty
Inefficient.
much.
I agree.
He's
But
been
he's still
pretty
getting
bad.
to the end
Definitely
zone.
more than one.
He had the worst
No, I
game of
know.
his career against you
Against
guys.
us, 10 carries, 4 yards. Yes,
was
we do
crazy.
that. We do
Yeah,
that.
and I
as
hate the fact that I
Broncos.
bought into Brees and now he's playing like shit. That's what I hate.
Last year he
Until-
didn't ball. Considering stop.
Man, I don't care if he put up numbers. The Jets' offense was unwatchable
Who was better
last year.
Ken Walker or him?
Well, Walker was injured for most of the year.
He missed 4 games. Agreed. But regardless,
I'm gonna be honest, bro. The Jets' offense
because you
last
said
year,
clears.
Brees stacked up some good numbers. The Jets' offense last year was unwatchable.
That's what I said. His
shit.
shits were inflated.
What do you mean?
Oh shit.
You can't inflate
His
4.5
no, his
carry
receipt.
with
No,
one
I'm
of the
talking.
worst
But
run blocking units in the
listen though.
game.
But Brees had
We're
a stretch
Jets
last year where
podcast.
he was in a Russian slump as well. He remember it started back against the Eagles. I think he had like 39 yards, and then through like a couple weeks he was on a Russian
Jets
slump.
podcast.
You know what I'm saying?
The game versus the Commanders.
and he's right. The
definitely
offense
helped
was
us.
definitely unwatchable,
Because
bro.
of Zach Wilson.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and who was he
he-
throwing the ball to every fucking down?
dog
To
shit.
Garrett,
Had to.
to
Garrett-
my son,
well,
to my
both.
son Brees Hall.
Yeah, both.
This is.
I mean, Brees Hall didn't even have 1,000 yards rushing.
That's what I
last year.
said. He didn't have 1,000
just
yards.
missed it.
I thought you had only.
He just and he was on a.
He had 1,300
You
all-purpose
also
yards.
can't forget that he was on a restriction to start the season because of the.
And he also
ACL
went through the
injury.
slump.
Okay,
And he also went
these
through
are
the
his
slump.
numbers. I have it. His best 3 games last year: 178 yards rushing, 177,
Against y'all.
127. Those are his only 3
Against the
100 yards
Commanders
rushing
and
games.
against us.
Every
Yes.
other game, he had 95 yards. Then he had 84 rushing yards. Then after that, he drops off 56 rushing yards, 50 rushing yards, 40 rushing yards, 39 rushing yards, 28 rushing yards,
Slump.
25 rushing yards, 23 rushing yards, 18 rushing yards, 17 rushing yards, 16 rushing yards, 12 rushing yards, and 9
My brother,
rushing
I
yards.
know my team.
That can
slump.
also be game script. Game script.
You're not lying.
The
but-
first year he was on a he was on a restriction the first couple weeks coming
Yeah,
off the
he did.
ACL, but a
You're
lot of that
not
was a
lying.
slump
It
too,
was
bro.
week 1 versus the Bills where you don't know what he's
He had
going
like
to do.
80
and
yards
has
that game, though.
60-yard rush.
But
Yeah,
Brees,
ball.
Brees' strength last year was mostly like in the pass game.
It was.
pass
our,
catch.
our
Easily.
Russian offense was inefficient. The entire offense
It was.
of infrastructure was
Ass.
inefficient. But that's why I was high on Garrett, because Garrett, despite bad quarterback play, put up
1,000 yards.
1,000 yards back to back.
You don't love Sauce?
Oh, I love
He
Sauce.
meant
I'm talking
skill
about
position
offensive
players.
players.
Skills.
Yeah, yeah. My,
But
two-
the only 2 players to love on your offense right now is Garrett and
fucking
Brees, which is why I say you not loving Brees
And you
is
love Aaron,
fucking
right?
wicked.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's my quarterback right now. I
No,
love
but that's not
Aaron,
skill
but-
position.
Yeah, yeah.
Skill positions, wide receivers, tight ends,
I
running
promise
back.
you, I
This
didn't
shit
hear
just
skill
funny.
position.
Alan
Here's the
Lazard and
thing,
Brad
though.
Allen.
When I said the season's not over,
Producing more.
I didn't mean, and I want to clear that up. I didn't mean that
Brees could turn
in
it around.
response to Brees Hall. I meant it in response to just the Jets as a whole. That's what I care about. That's what I meant.
Way to clean
Like,
that up.
The Jets season is not over. It's early. So
Hell no.
we're
We
talking
2-2.
about it. We're panicking, but we could very well
I
still
agree.
turn it around,
Maybe.
especially if
Who
Davante
knows?
Adams comes back.
No,
If you get Davante, everyone changes their tune. But right now, where we stand, after what we just saw from the New York Jets versus Denver
Don't even
Broncos.
fucking
no, your
remind me.
season's not over. It's 2-2. It's early.
Our next 3 games are really tough.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
play
exactly.
Minnesota,
We're gonna learn a
the
lot about the
Bills,
Jets.
and I'm blanking on the third one.
Steelers.
Okay,
Your season's not over.
Well, we're gonna learn
It's
a lot
too
about the Jets
fucking
these next
early
3
to be
weeks.
promoting or talking about other people's
Then I
season.
believe we got the
The only
Texans
team that
after.
season's really over is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Browns.
But those two are, as long as the show watches.
How about the
play-
Titans?
Yes, correct. Unless Mason Rudolph jumps in there.
Yo, Will Levis is starting.
Oh, well, then their season is over. Oh, in Miami. If Tua, it's
That's quiet.
shit,
It's quiet. It's
shit,
quiet.
chop.
Week 8.
Brother, you might be 1-6 by then.
But Tua can do some crazy things. I saw when they were 1-7, he figured out
you'll
they have a
fight.
positive
You'll
record.
have,
To put a bow tie on this
Patriots too.
segment, if the Jets don't land Davante, it's a massive organizational failure.
Oh. Damn.
No, it is.
Okay.
Because, I mean, bro,
You talking about the odds?
it's Aaron Rodgers'
Massive-
buddy.
Damn.
Davante has a wish list. I don't give
Jets
a
are
shit
number
what
one.
it takes. You give them a second round pick.
First?
You add that's a little bit
I'm
too
asking
far for me.
if the deal is a first or no deal.
Definitely Hassan Reddick. I saw this 3-team trade. I don't know if the report was true or not.
I saw that
but it
too.
was Hassan Reddick to the Falcons, a second round pick to the Raiders, and then another like third round pick to the Raiders as well.
To the Falcons, like we were
And,
talking about yesterday.
Yeah,
Wow.
Hassan Reddick, they would he would give the Falcons an edge rushing presence. Of course, something they need. So I think that 3-team trade would work. But listen, the Jets are in the front seat to land Davante, and I think this is, at the time at least, because they haven't been on the same page, this is the only feasible solution to these communication problems.
For now,
and we need Davante. You know, that's just a fact. And if the Jets don't
What
land
more
this,
do the Jets fucking need?
if the
Riv?
Jets
I'm
don't
wondering.
land him,
But we trying
then
to win,
it's
bro.
a
No,
failure.
I'm wondering. Riv,
We trying to
what
win.
more
Let
do
alone
the
we trying to make
Jets
the
need?
playoffs,
It's like that
bro.
year
Oh,
when the
man,
when the
shut
Brooklyn
it.
Nets brought in KD.
Yo,
Harden.
stop, bro.
No,
Stop.
they
Stop.
brought in
LA.
and Kyrie.
Stop.
No,
Then they had
Blake
LaMarcus
Griffin?
Aldridge jumping Blake Griffin. It was like mad people just coming
Nah,
in
man,
there.
we didn't say that when the Eagles traded for AJ Brown.
We did say that.
No, we didn't
did
say that.
No,
We
but
just-
they traded for
different.
AJ's
What
different.
else do the
When they
Eagles
traded
need?
for his different.
But now when the
We
Jets
were-
want to
it's
stack
wrong.
the deck,
No,
We
when
haven't
you
been
signed
playoffs in
Saquon,
15
when you signed
years.
Saquon,
That's
yes,
what-
that's what it is.
yeah,
Like
no,
one
when we
more.
got
How
AJ,
much
we
Yo,
were
more?
keep it G, though.
Nine
Keep it
win
G.
season.
Non-bias shit aside, for a team that has the longest active playoff draw in
Oh,
American
here we go
sport,
with the
like, come
fucking
on,
penny.
bro. What you mean? It's been 15
That's
years.
y'all
You
fault, y'all
trade-
been
All right, so why
ass.
can't
It's
we?
not our
So
fault,
why
it's
can't we make the
organization.
playoffs? Why can't we do everything to make the
Because
playoffs?
I agree with you.
I'm
You
not-
traded
what
for
the-
Aaron Rodgers.
Get it,
Come
dude. Get it how you
on.
get it. It's just damn.
But this
like,
Nah, you're
offseason,
bugging,
you bring in
bro.
Tyron
Niggas,
Smith,
they had
you
made
bring
the
in
playoffs in
Mike
14
Will.
years.
You
Bro,
go.
they started
Mike
Mike
Will and J. Cole, who didn't play last
No,
year.
no, Drew. They started off
But
the
Tyron
year-
Smith, come on, stop.
off season. Y'all got
That was
Tyron
big
Smith.
signing.
Then
We needed that.
Mike
Mike
Will,
Will,
of course you did.
ass.
Y'all had Mike Will, y'all got Tyron Smith. You came in this season like, yo, we got a team. This shit stacked. Now we 4 weeks in. We need Tay. We need Tay.
Need
We
Tay.
need
But,
Tay.
yo,
Damn.
but the plan was
Damn.
but the plan was to always get Tay ever since last year.
I've been talking about it since the
It was always
offseason.
in the cards.
Of
for
course.
sure.
You know I have
But
been.
now
It's
y'all
always
begging
been-
for him. Now it's like it's either him or it's
Please,
up.
Tay, save our
Why not?
franchise.
Please, Will,
Hell
do
yeah.
a lot of
Hell
things.
yeah.
This is what we thought he was.
Hey, listen,
I didn't say that.
I'm begging,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
begging, I'm
just
begging
wanna see
for
my-
it.
I don't really
Pause.
care
I'm
about
begging for
players.
it.
No. Oh,
I'm
you
on
know-
my knees. I'm panting, please.
I'm begging for it because he
I'm
just
sorry, that was a
requested
bit
a
much.
trade, and the number one team he wants to go to is the Jets.
Bro.
So if the Jets don't make the move,
Yeah.
it's
Yo,
it's a failure.
you seen the Shannon Sharp podcast? It came out his mouth. If I could have a reunion with anyone, it's Aaron Rodgers. Where the fuck does Aaron Rodgers play? The Jets. We
No,
want him.
I didn't see the Shannon Sharp
Watch
part.
it, bro. It came out of his
I remember him
mouth.
saying that about Derek Carr one time, and he went to play with Derek Carr, and then what did he do? Flop.
True, but Aaron Rodgers is there right now.
Did you know that since joining the Raiders, Davante Adams has the most touchdowns in the league? Tied with
Yo, I didn't
CeeDee
even
Lamb.
know that. How do you know this
Wait,
stuff?
say another thing.
Yep, CeeDee Lamb.
How do you?
88, baby.
You saw these numbers?
I was just watching
Oh, I was about
TV.
to say that's crazy. I didn't know that.
watching TV. He's like, yo, you must go through extensive research.
Yo,
That's
like,
like,
yo.
NFL Live.
Yeah, shout out.
No, I feel like nobody in here knew that.
Oh, God,
Shout out to
I
McAfee.
Me neither.
Shout out to McAfee. Pat
Shout out
McAfee
to
was talking
fucking
about it.
CeeDee Lamb, 88, baby,
Okay,
here.
week 4
Better than
overreactions.
You said better than
My overreaction for
I only
week
have
4.
one. Do you have one?
What-
or you have
what's your
three?
one? You
My
go
one.
first.
Derrick Henry, the rushing title, and will have the most touchdowns. He has 480 rushing yards at the end of week 4. He is averaging 6
All that
yards a
shit came in
carry.
one game.
That's wrong.
Two.
And two
Yeah, oh, tier 2. What was the other game?
against Dallas.
He had 150 plus.
Actually killed
But also,
OD.
he did have a touch. I think he's had a touchdown every single week. He had a touchdown against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
week
but he didn't
2,
have a lot of
He had a
yards
touchdown
with
against
the-
the Raiders.
against
He
the
didn't,
Chiefs, right? Yeah.
correct. But these last 2 games, especially versus the Bills, where he had 199.
Well, he had 80 in the first play.
84.
This is the best rush offense that Derrick Henry's ever been in. And of course, we know that he was the system over there in Tennessee. But when you have Lamar Jackson, who also in his own right is just under, I think he's like 350 in terms of rushing yards this season alone. You're in a rush offense that you've never been in before, that obviously is going to be amongst the top of the league. We're legitimately looking at Derrick Henry like he can be the offensive player of the year. He still is efficient as ever. 6 a carry at the age of 30 is dumb. It's stupid. It simply makes no sense. But Derrick Henry is one of the greatest running backs to ever touch a football field.
I agree with you.
He is going to be the rushing king again.
I agree with you.
You know, the
Hall of Fame,
Ravens,
first ballot.
they've been amazing. And I want to shout out Matt Harmon, who does the Reception Perception podcast. Thank you, Riv. He put up these stats. Derrick Henry has taken 21% of his rushes from pistol this season, 51.8 yards per game, the most among running backs, 23.5% explosive run rate, the second most among running backs, and 8.9 yards before contact per rush, most among running backs. The offensive line has been doing an amazing job these past 2 weeks. And the Ravens in 2 weeks really have shifted the narrative. And now
they're back.
They're the biggest threat to the Chiefs. And with how the Chiefs are playing, you could argue the Ravens are the best team in the AFC right now. They have a certain dimension and layer to their offense that no other AFC team has. I mean, the Bills are trying to replicate it by having a good rushing attack with James Cook, but it's not the same as Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry is an ageless wonder, and he's been awesome. My overreaction is touching on something that Drew mentioned earlier. I think the Commanders can win the NFC East.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here.
They're 3-1 right now.
It's just no way in hell anytime you're ever gonna pick the Eagles. You will go Dallas and you will go the Commanders, and you know what? Let me relax.
I'm not here out on the Eagles. I'm not. I'm acknowledging the truth. This Commanders offense is set.
So you're right. Hold up.
They haven't beat
The
anybody.
Before you go.
Bengals are nobody.
I didn't say that.
You just said they haven't beat anybody.
Okay, outside of the Bengals, they haven't beat anybody.
Okay,
Arizona didn't have a respect.
They were exciting. Were they a good team?
You
They're
picked
probably the same
Arizona
tier.
to win, though.
Yeah, but they're probably
We
the
all
same tier as
did,
teams.
to be
Let's
fair.
honest.
We
They're
all
probably-
did.
They're probably in the same tier as teams.
No,
I don't think
they're
Arizona.
not in the same tier as Arizona anymore. They're
Well,
so far
I'm
better.
I'm saying going into the game.
Oh, for sure. But
Yeah.
not anymore.
Like I wasn't shocked that Washington won. I was
42
shocked when
to
they
14.
beat when they beat the Bengals. That's when we were like, oh shit.
Riv, you weren't shocked that they beat them 42-14?
Like that, yes. But beat them, no.
No, it was one of the most shocking things of the season
Yes,
so
that they
far.
whipped their ass like that for sure.
What game?
The Commanders beating the Cardinals 42-12.
Oh, okay,
42
okay,
to
okay,
Yeah,
14.
yeah, for sure. Like the way they did it.
They
yes.
handled them.
But they haven't beat anybody. Realistically.
Bengals.
The Bengals weren't they winless when they played?
They did, but that's still the Bengals.
Who they play
now,
next? Who they
Riv.
play next?
Who?
The Commanders.
The Browns. And here's what I want to get into. Before we go diving further, for one, the Commanders, I think they could, that's my overreaction for a reason. I think they could win the NFC East because Jaden Daniels is playing spectacular.
He is.
The offense is top 3 in efficiency
amazing.
right now. Actually, since 2000, there's only been one offense that's been better EPA wise through the first 4 weeks. That's been the 2007 Patriots. The Commanders' offense has been that elite.
Wow.
And we know that the receivers, they might not have the most name recognition. Terry McLaurin's the only one. Brian Robinson is the most underrated running back in the NFL. I posted this tweet.
Yeah, did
10th in
numbers.
rushing yards. Yeah, I appreciate it. 3rd in yards after contact, 2nd in yards after contact per attempt, 4th in breakaway run percentage, and tied 4th with most runs over 15 plus yards. This is a complete offense. Their offensive line is playing really well. And I think their defense is starting to figure out a little bit. I still don't trust the personnel in Dan Quinn's scheme all too much. But here's where I want to dive in further. The Commanders are 3-1 right now. We're going to go through their schedule and predict the rest of their season to see where they finish.
Let's overreact, baby.
They play the Browns this week.
W. That's my lock of the week, actually.
And you all 3 answer, and 2 of the 3 votes
Gotcha.
move on.
It's my lock of the week.
I feel like at this point it's a 50-50.
Huh? Brother, the Browns are garbage. They just lost to the Raiders without Tay Max Crosby. The Browns are bad.
Their defense is really good.
It's dropped off this year.
I think
Realistically,
it's dropped off because of their offense.
I
It's just
also
really bad.
I also would pair that with, yes, that's most definitely true. They have not played good talent, and the Browns, and they're 1-3.
They haven't played good. What you mean?
Like good teams.
Good teams.
Oh, they played good offenses though.
Would you consider Dallas a good offense?
You kind of have to.
I guess you do kind of have
They're
to.
good.
Yeah,
They're not above that,
All
though.
right, Jaguars.
So who's your
No.
pick, Riv?
That one's tough. I think it's a lot closer than what he's making the team, but I'll go Commanders.
What about
Commanders,
you, JC?
Commanders.
Okay, so can you keep count, please?
We're here, 1.
4-1. Ravens on the road.
Ravens.
I would take the Ravens.
Ravens.
4-2.
Panthers.
I'm taking the Commanders.
Commanders.
5-2.
The Bears.
Chicago.
This is an
Where's it at?
amazing
Where's it
game.
at?
It's in Washington.
I think Commanders offense can do enough. This Bears defense is legit, though. I don't know if the
Chicago.
Bears offense is
I got
ready.
Chicago
I'll go
too.
Chicago.
I
I
got
would take-
Chicago
well,
too.
You guys got it, so 5-3.
At the Giants.
LOL.
You can't, 6
Close
and
game
3.
the first
No,
time.
I'm saying
Well,
it's
it went to
hard- it's hard
overtime,
to
yeah.
sweep a division. I think the Giants take this one. It's hard.
Really?
They beat him the first time.
I
It's
don't
hard.
see it.
I got the Commanders.
I'm taking
I'm
Commanders
with you with the
also.
Commanders. I don't think Giants.
I know Daniel Jones plays well against them. That's one thing that's true, but
It's just hard to sweep a division opponent, especially in the NFC East.
it is true.
First
Unless you're
game was
Dallas.
close too.
Versus the Steelers.
Steelers.
6 and 4.
At the Eagles.
I think Philly takes that one in Philly.
I got Philly.
This is in Philly?
Yes.
Okay, 6 and 5.
Versus the Cowboys is in Washington.
I'm taking the Commanders.
I'm going Cowboys.
Dallas owns
I'm
the
going
division.
Cowboys. I'll go Cowboys.
Am I the tiebreaker?
You are.
You are.
This is
Dallas.
kind of Dallas. Dallas be looking rough. I'll go Dallas.
6 and 6.
I'll go
At the
Dallas.
Saints.
Oh,
That's it's right now from what I'm hearing. This one is
That's a
one's
tough
tough.
one.
That one's tough. I wouldn't say the toughest because they do play the
no,
Ravens.
it's in New Orleans. That's why it's
Yeah,
so tough.
I'll be honest. I'm taking the Commanders.
So I don't know. The Saints have been playing cool, even though they lost. They still been looking really good.
Don't stop
JC.
sleeping on the command. Yeah, they're sleeping.
Honestly, bro, I got New Orleans, bro. If they play, I got New Orleans. We all gotta watch that game.
This is the best offense in football right now.
Saints have played a pretty good schedule at 2-2. They smacked Dallas.
I think the Saints are better.
Yeah, smack Carolina, falling off a cliff.
I mean, they lost to Atlanta.
They look good
They
actually
lost
against
to Atlanta.
Atlanta.
and
I want to
Philly.
give them
I'll
their
go.
flowers.
I'll go to Saints. I don't feel good about
Well,
it though.
6 and 7.
Okay, so now I missed this game before the Saints, but versus the Titans, it's in Washington.
7 and
Washington.
7.
Commanders.
Okay.
Yeah, Commanders.
The last two games, or the last three games of the season, versus the Eagles, Washington is at home.
Oh, Washington gets that. One.
Washington.
Okay, so we're 8 and 7.
Yeah.
Versus the Falcons, Commanders are at home.
It's a tough one.
That's
This
gonna be
one
fun.
is
It's gonna have
sneaky
huge
tough, too.
implications.
And I'm gonna be transparent.
They're not beating the Falcons and the Saints, and you picked
Well,
both
you
of them to
you
win.
picked the Saints, did you not?
I did, but you're about to easily.
I'm trying to
take
get
the
them
Commanders.
W's here. Y'all have gone against me almost every time.
I'm with you if you got the Commanders on this one.
All right, I'm here. Commanders
Yeah,
are
I
a
got Commanders.
respectable team.
So I guess
gonna be a good game.
I voted. I wasn't going to take the Commanders.
And last game of the season at Dallas.
So they sweep them.
Dallas can do it.
Sweep them.
in the division.
Dallas is not
Let me see.
that good.
Where's the
How
game
many
at?
times has Dallas
It's at
swept the
Dallas.
division?
Do you know what Brian Robinson's gonna do to Dallas?
Hold on. Let me look.
So if they win this game, what would be their record?
10 and 7.
10 and 7.
And if they lose, 9 and 8.
9 and 8.
So
which
thi-
is realistic.
So we're thinking that the Commanders can make the playoffs. That's what
they
we're
are.
saying.
A wild
card. They
Realistically,
can make a
Dak
wild
is
card.
11-2 against the Commanders.
this isn't the same old Commanders.
I don't think. No, do you not hear what I just said?
Did you not just see that the
Dak hasn't
Cowboys
lost
almost
to them
lost to
since
the Giants?
2018.
The Cowboys almost lost to the Giants.
Dak
I think
hasn't lost to them
there's
since
something to be said though.
2018.
The
Cowboys
Commanders
almost lost
offense.
to the Giants. Go ahead.
The Commanders
Commanders
offense is
almost
really
lost to the
good.
Giants.
In
But
overtime.
that was before. That's Jaden's second game of his career. And they won still.
No, but they almost lost to the Giants. So did they. What
And
do you
that's
think?
game 2 of Jaden before they opened up the playbook.
Oh, don't give me that shit, bro.
Turn on the film.
Oh, how you gonna
Yo,
say?
Terry McLaurin wasn't even involved in the
How you gonna
offense
say
until week
Dallas
3?
almost lost to they're all division games, so it's like it's kind of the same.
Dallas
vibe.
has also looked like absolute mierda.
That's fair.
10 and 7 is 9 and 8. I think.
No,
I
that's
think
firm
that's
records.
something.
I'm
That's
not
a-
mad
that's
at
a-
it.
What,
They would
6,
say they
7? 6, 7
overachieved.
wild card? Definitely. Nobody
say
had
they
no one had to go
overachieved.
into the playoffs this year.
For sure. This is already
I
it's
think
an
that's cool.
overachievement.
I think that's cool. 10 and
I will
7.
say this: the Commanders' offense is great. We know that, but their defense could give up 30 a game.
Their defense
too.
is not good.
You act like them and Dallas can't get in a shootout.
Like, yeah, they would. I think that'd be a shootout of both games.
Dallas is so one-dimensional.
Yeah, but the Commanders don't have any good corners.
You're right. Their secondary
outside of
is
St.
what- yeah,
Jude's.
that's it.
But that's their best corner. He's gonna be guarding who? CeeDee Lamb.
CD.
And the Cowboys are gonna get Deron Bland later in the season.
Deron Bland.
Stop.
Brian Robinson's going to run all over them, though.
He's good.
Overrated.
He's good.
Just like Trayvon, they both have the same issue. They're trying to play the ball too much.
Yeah.
Blaine is good. I don't care what
They're
you
ball
say.
hawks.
They are.
What's your overreaction, Ruth?
I had 2. One of them was, we talked a lot about this division being really tough with the Falcons, the Saints, Tampa Bay, not going to acknowledge the other team. But I will say, for me, my overreaction is I think Tampa wins the division. When you just look at how Atlanta, how the Saints, and how Tampa has played, they've all played up to comp to a degree so far. Like, I don't think the Saints' last 2 losses have been bad losses. You know, they went to a dogfight against Philly. They could have won that Falcons game if a couple things went right. And the same thing in Atlanta. They started off a little bit slow towards the beginning of the year, but they made us to bounce back. They lost to the Chiefs, tough loss, but they did beat the Saints. I think Tampa Bay, I think Baker is playing at a really high level to start the year. You know, I think this offense is a little bit high power. I think you have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin, who's playing dope. I think Bucky Irvin getting more touches is going to really elevate this offense. And I think the defense is not terrible. It's okay, but it has some talent. You know, and when they get a little bit healthier, they'll be fine. I think this is a team that we kind of slept on, all of us collectively, because we thought Atlanta was the new shiny toy in the block. You know, the Saints, they've kind of been hanging around that top 10 defense for a while now. But I think Tampa Bay, I'm going to grab them up, and I'm going to say this is a team that I think will win the division. My second overreaction is I did a lot of – this is not even overreaction. This is me being done with a certain person. I did a lot of film watching yesterday. Just jumped on Eagles Twitter, jumped on the Eagles page.
Done with Jalen Hurts?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No. I'm getting there.
He's done with Darius Slay.
No. I can't be.
Big play.
For what he's done, I just can't
Come on,
be.
he's a legend.
But what I would say, I've been watching a lot of film, watching a lot of guys who know more ball than me.
I'm scared to hear
Been reading up on what they've been doing. I'm done with Nick, man.
Okay.
I'm done with Nick as a coach. He is completely and utterly an idiot, and I mean that in the
worst way
nicest
possible?
in the nicest way possible. He just doesn't know how to coach up a game plan, a consistent game plan. I mean, I was watching. I really wish my memory wasn't garbage and I could remember these guys that I was watching. That's big on Philly. They watch Old 22 from Philly, and I'm just scrolling down watching, and the plays he's drawing up for an offense that doesn't have AJ Brown and Smitty is ludicrous. It's absolutely ridiculous how he has the route trees, the plays that we're running on 3rd and 10 situations, 2nd and 8. I mean, Hurts isn't playing his greatest, but damn, Nick, you have to be better. And the fact that Saquon Barkley, who is performing at a high level, I still feel like he hasn't even been fully integrated in this offense, to me just stemmed. Like, I feel like that Bucs game was a coaching problem. We came out flat. I think Dan Orlovsky was he was talking about it 2 days ago when I seen it. We threw the ball 8 times and to start the game against Tampa Bay. I think it was 8 of the first 10 plays. We threw the ball 8 times. We have Jahan Dotson as a number 1. Why the fuck are we throwing the ball 8 times? Like, it just doesn't make sense in my mind. We have one of the best running backs in the world back there. Feed him the ball, force feed him. We don't have anything else. We have no AJ. We have no Smitty. It's just Dallas. We have no Lane Johnson. Run the ball. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And Tampa Bay coming in that game was not a good run defense. Run the ball. And on top of that, this dude, Todd Bowles, was running circles around Nick. He just didn't know what to do. So I think for me, like, I think this team is talented. I think Quinyon Mitchell has been, like, really good to start off, especially with the receivers he's been having to face. I mean, he had a solid day against Mike Evans. Nothing too crazy, but he had a solid day. I think this secondary, Slay is holding it back, unfortunately. CJ is holding it back. He makes some big plays, but the plays he gives up,
he's allowed 4 touchdowns in 4 games.
The plays his one big play, he'll make up, like, he gives up a lot of plays. I think the pass rush is kind of getting better. Last game they didn't play too good, a little bit inconsistent, but I think coaching will hold this team back, and I don't think it's a Fangio. I don't think it's a Moore problem. I think it stems from Nick Sirianni. I really hope he's gone. I think even if we win a Super Bowl or if we get deep in the playoffs, I still think he's gone. I think he needs to be gone because you need to change.
I do have another overreaction. And JC, actually, you can go.
Go ahead.
Mike McDaniel is the most overrated coach in the National Football League.
You've been waiting for this.
And we're starting to realize that as Tua has not been able to play football, of course, with the concussions. His failure to adjust to the quarterback that is actually playing for him, whether it is Skylar Thompson, whether it is Tyler Huntley. And I'm here conscious of the fact that those are 2 quarterbacks, specifically Skylar Thompson and Tyler Huntley, who are not great at the quarterback position. But the fact that you're still drawing up the same plays that you would draw up as if Tua Tagovailoa is back there at quarterback, it sticks out when you're watching this game versus the Titans. There's two plays in particular that stand out to me, and both should have been Tyreek Hill bomb touchdowns. You have the one on the left sideline where Tyreek Hill has him beat. Tyler Huntley has just completely underthrows Tyreek Hill. That is a play that I've seen Tua and Tyreek run endless amounts of times, that 9 out of 10 times it translates to a touchdown. The one on the deep ball where Tyler Huntley overthrows Tyreek Hill now. You have to know your personnel, and the fact that we saw limited amounts of plays that Tyler Huntley is rushing the football, and there's designed strictly for Tyler Huntley to rush the football. How you're not making more plays for Devon Achane, who seems to be right now your only reliable, consistent option. That too. But understanding that you need to find ways to get the ball into your playmakers' hands, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and these designed jet sweeps, that's not really going to do it for you. You understand when I think back to that year one with rookie Jalen Waddle, and a lot of their plays were get the ball out quick, get the ball to Jalen Waddle in his hands, and allow him to just go after the catch. One of the main reasons why he broke the rookie receiving record for receptions. You were able to just get the ball into his hands and just let whatever happens after be in his hands because he is your best playmaker. You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Devon Achane. How you are so hard-headed to the fact of adjusting your offense to the quarterback that you have right here, and your lack of adjustments is one of the main reasons why you lost to the Tennessee Titans. On top of it, the defense is also not that good. Jalen Phillips, unfortunately, is going to miss the rest of the season. Right? I'm not sure if it's confirmed ACL. Yeah. I saw that
he made a post about it.
It was a bad knee injury, so I wasn't sure if it was ACL or something along that structurally. But regardless, the defense hasn't been that good, specifically their rush defense. They're one of the worst rush units in football. And you see how they look against really great teams, and now you're seeing how they look up against pretty subpar teams. Tennessee, Seattle will give them their acknowledgement as they are one of the better teams, but they did whatever they wanted to them. This is not a great football team, and offensively, it is not a great football team when Tua Tagovailoa is not on the football field.
I think another thing, too, like you guys, like Miami they don't ever bring in good backups, and we understand how important a backup quarterback is, especially having a competent one or a really good one, because when you have a quarterback that deals with injuries or deals with health scares, you need somebody to come in and still hold the ship up. And of course, Mike McDaniel not being able to adjust his offense to his quarterbacks, but also the quarterbacks that they're putting out there behind Tua are literally shit.
But Malik Willis went out there with the Packers.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's like it kind of hinders my it's a two
double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Because like Mike, you don't look good because you're not adjusting. At the same time, Miami, I'm looking at you as why are you not bringing in good backups like these other teams?
I think it's just organizationally, the Dolphins and the Packers are so different, and I think Matt LaFleur is a way better coach than Mike McDaniel. The Packers have a foundation. They have a great offensive line. They have great weapons. They have a great running back in Josh Jacobs. They got a great play caller. So Malik Willis was able to step into a situation, but you also have to credit LaFleur for changing up the offense entirely to fit him. A thing that has really pissed me off about what Mike McDaniel has done is that the Dolphins are always near the top of the league in motion rates because they're trying to have defenses on their heels. You look at some of the bottom teams in motion rates this year, they're all teams that feature rookie quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix. And the reason for that is because you don't want to overwhelm your young quarterback with all this motion. Now they have to do more thinking as well. And I say that because with a new quarterback coming in, I understand running motion with Skylar Thompson because he's been within the system. Yep. But Tyler Huntley being brand new and you're trying to get him to think about all this extra shit instead of just going out and playing football.
Agreed.
There's a lot of things that he has to think about before the play is even called, that Tua's even talked about, that there's a lot of things that go into this offense. So McDaniel not simplifying it for somebody that just came in, you just signed him fresh off somebody else's practice squad. I think it does a disservice to Huntley, and Huntley had his fair share of missed throws, but McDaniel didn't put him in a position to succeed. And to your point about the Eagles, the question was never about the talent. It's about the coaching. Nick Sirianni is one of the worst coaches in the NFL. It was 6 of the 9 first plays that were all passes. And Jalen Hurts on the first drive actually had a good pass to Dallas Goedert that was dropped. Yeah, he dropped it. And they just never were able to get momentum. There's a theory out there that Kellen Moore is not really calling
I
the
heard
plays
about
or
that.
designing the offense because they went from having one of the highest motion rates in the NFL to now I think they're in the 20s. And that's why people are theorizing that maybe it's Nick Sirianni having his hand in the offense a little bit too much. But you look at how the Eagles played against the Bucs, it was an unprepared team. I mean, Jalen Hurts, I don't think had a great game by any means. I thought his pocket presence, it was pretty poor in that game, but there was also so many factors in why the offense as a whole didn't play well. There weren't receivers open down the field. When Todd Bowles would send blitz looks, there was nowhere for Jalen Hurts to go with the ball. So overall, the offense and how it functioned was just terrible. And Hurts, the stats don't look good, but I think he was the least of the Eagles' problems in that game because nobody was getting open and the offense and how it was being schemed up was terrible. What was your overreaction?
My
JC?
overreaction is gonna be a little silly and funny, but I kind of do believe this. I feel like Sam Darnold is gonna finish top 4 in the MVP race, like in general. He's leading the league in touchdowns, top 2 in quarterback rating. He's outplayed some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL within this first 4-week stretch. He has another chance to improve his case in an MVP race going up against the Jets defense. I think if he can put up terrific numbers against the Jets defense, I think this only propels his story for the MVP race. The weapons that they have around him are phenomenal. I'm not saying it's only Sam Darnold. Kevin has put him in great positions to succeed or whatever, but they get T.J. Hawkinson back, I believe, after this Jets game. So that's another weapon at Sam Darnold's disposal. And just as a Jets fan looking from like just from afar or whatever, I can't help but be happy for the dude. You know, he's finally around a competent offensive play calling. He has competent skills position players, and he's been fantastic. I mean, he's outplayed some of the best quarterbacks, C.J. Stroud. He went up in San Fran, got a big win against San Fran, has a chance to take down the Jets, who had lofty expectations. You know, it's going to be a big game. But I just feel like this level of play is sustainable for him because I feel like he's gone better. I feel like his coach is putting him in the positions to succeed. And I feel like the skills positions around him, including Aaron Jones, they're all just helping. It's all just a match. It's a perfect match. So I don't know if it's an overreaction, because I don't think anybody really was that high on Sam Darnold except for him coming into the season. But
give him his flowers.
Oh, Riv, you were?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were. My fault. Riv too.
Me. Unless he jumped on Jettis too.
My fault. But yeah, I do feel like I have a strong feeling that he can finish top 5 in the MVP race.
That's a very firm statement. Right now, you could look at it. He's probably top 2, top 3 right now. So
Yeah.
I respect you taking the call on saying he can be a top 4 candidate at come end of the season. But when we talk about it right now, there's been maybe one that you can name firmly that's been outright better than him. He's been that amazing.
Yeah.
And you look at quarterbacks that it really doesn't happen that they blossom late. He's 27 years old. Your second favorite quarterback is also the same age as him. So he still has years in front of him. Joe Burrow is the same age as Sam
shit, for real?
Darnold. Yes.
Sam
They're
Darnold's
both
younger,
20
right?
They're both 27
Sam
years old.
Darnold's younger, right?
I maybe.
Damn,
Maybe.
shit,
By like
young as
months.
shit. I didn't know he was that young.
That's why whenever the draft season would come up, there was always a talking point. Why draft a quarterback when you can trade a second-round pick for Darnold, who's younger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you look at, there's been 2 players. Well, one that really stands out, of course, that's always going to be Geno Smith. The late
Absolutely.
into his career where
Another
he figured
Jet.
it out. Another Jet, ironically enough.
He just never got the
He
opportunity.
never
either.
got a fair shot, and neither did Sam
Sam
outside
Darnold
of
got
that
a
time with
terrible shot.
Carolina. But your best weapon in CMC goes out after week 3, then the whole offense collapses after that.
Didn't Ryan Tanner have a similar rebirth?
And I'll give you,
Against,
I'll
the
give you 10,
Titans?
but in my opinion,
Titans?
I thought he was pretty good for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think he got
was always a
injured.
solid
He was a
quarterback.
very
Yeah.
firm, always looked. I mean, I'd say he looked significantly better on the Titans when he went 30-8 or 30-10, whatever it was. But it took for that his second part of his career to figure it out. Now we're looking at Sam Darnold, Geno Smith. Geno Smith's in his 5th part. You have Sam Darnold, who's probably in a similar around that time now. He was on the Jets, Carolina, San Fran, and now we're talking about Minnesota. When you're in a great system, it makes it easy for you to play at this level. You have a lot more confidence in
Skills
yourself.
position players
I
are
can't
fantastic.
even begin to tell you how it feels seeing Sam Darnold and Geno Smith play well outside of the Jets. There was a point in time Geno Smith gets drafted, West Virginia 2nd-round pick. He was a star in college.
He was.
I thought he was going to be a star with the
and Tavon.
Jets. but then
Tavon
he
Austin.
got his jaw broken by one of the
Incampale.
linebackers. Yeah, over a bet. And
Incampale.
Fitzpatrick has a magical season that year. Geno never gets a
Was
shot.
he asked before that?
Geno,
Yeah.
as a rookie, he only had one season. He was just a rookie, and he had up and
It was 12
downs.
touchdowns, 21 interceptions. We won some big games. We were projected to win 2
Never
games.
forget that first game against the Bucks.
Yeah,
when you
listen,
guys
we were
won that one.
projected to win 2 games that year, and we were at 8-8, and we were yeah.
Yeah, the team was terrible.
Terrible.
Geno Smith goes to the Chargers, goes to the
about that,
Giants,
Chargers.
goes to the Seahawks, learns under Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, and then Russell Wilson, and then he finds his footing in the NFL. And then Sam Darnold with the Jets. Adam Gase was his coach. You look at the receivers that the Jets had. I mean, it got very ugly.
No running back.
at some point
Frank
in
Gore,
time.
like 38-year-old.
And now seeing
running
both of
back.
these guys thrive, it warms my heart. I wish that they did that with the Jets because there was a point in time where I thought they were going to be our franchise quarterbacks, and it's only a matter of time for Zach Wilson. It's only a matter of time for that boy. Zach.
I wouldn't be shocked, bro.
Track
at this
record
point.
looks good.
I
If
wouldn't be
Zach
shocked
Wilson-
at this.
Are we going 3 for 3?
Track record looks good.
The
I
only
wouldn't be
way we
shocked.
see Zach Wilson is if Bo Nix gets injured. And honestly, I don't want that.
Oh, wait, I'm not saying for the Broncos. Maybe Zach goes somewhere else.
Isn't
Yo,
Zach-
real
they're
quick.
the same age, right?
Yo, Drew, I was
'Cause Zach's
talking.
young as shit.
I was talking to this Broncos fan on Twitter. He doesn't think that Bo Nix is like a long-term answer. How do you feel? Like he thinks it's just a patch. Like he
I think
doesn't.
it's early.
It's way
That's
early.
what he's selling. I don't know. I don't.
It's early.
You're a Broncos
It's his
fan.
rookie season. We have some of the worst skill position players in football. It's us and it's the Patriots. We're not good when it comes to that regard. I got to give him time before I come to any strong conclusion. But again, week 3, he did a job in terms of what we were anticipating. Hit your easy throws. Don't make any dumb decisions. He's been great in the pocket. Really hasn't taken too many sacks, I should say, or hasn't made any issues where
2-2.
he's the reason of getting sacked. Say it again.
You're 2-2.
In terms of, right, that's what I mean.
Low
So
key could be
it's-
3-1, right? If that week 1 game against Seattle, you guys were winning. You
It
guys
was
blew
a
the lead.
close. The score was
It was-
closer. Yeah,
They were? I
Yeah.
thought they were winning that game
Nah,
in the
the
beginning.
score
They
looked
got a
closer
garbage
than
time
what it
touchdown.
is. We
Okay,
did.
okay.
It's just that
So they were
Seattle
winning
wasn't
that
like
game.
whipping their ass. That's
No.
what it was.
On to some NFL quick hitters. The best division in the NFL is what division?
To me, I'm going the NFC North. You have the Detroit Lions that are arguably the best team in the NFC. Right there with them as arguably the best team in the NFC is the Minnesota Vikings. Now that you have Jordan Love back on the Green Bay Packers, we have to talk about Green Bay being one of the best teams in the league. And of course, you have Chicago Bears who have one of the better defenses in the league. And slowly but surely, Caleb Williams is starting to figure it out. Just had his first game of over 100 passer rating. These 4 teams, we could be talking about potential playoff squads. They're all in the same division. No other division has that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think even just talking about championship aspirations or teams that can potentially make an NFC championship, you have Detroit, you have Green Bay, and right now Minnesota is looking like that team that can be in that bunch. Of course, I'm going to show a little love to the AFC North with Baltimore, with the Bengals, who are still a solid team. Cleveland's kind of the team that's hovering around at the bottom, but Pittsburgh looks really good right now, but I think the number 1 is the NFC North.
By far and away, I think it's the NFC North. I want to give some love to By far and away, it is the NFC North. I want to give some love to the NFC South. This is a division that we all thought was going to be the worst in football, and right now it's ultra competitive. The Saints look good, the Falcons look good, the Bucks look good, and those 3 teams are going to go down to the wire to see who wins that division.
No, pretty much we're all going the same. It's the NFC. It's the NFC North for reasons that everybody said. You have a contender in the Lions. So far, the Vikings look like a contending team, undefeated football team. Yeah, just for those reasons, I think you have a lot of serious quality level teams in that division. And like he said, even the Bears, who I feel is the worst, they're getting better week in and week out.
Who are the top 5 most cooked teams in football, starting from 1 and going to 5? Because I think it's easier that way.
Most
one we-
cooked.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
They're the worst team in the league.
Yeah, they are.
They have one of the worst defenses and they have one of the worst offenses.
They also have the worst coach in football.
That is, wow. I
He's
don't.
definitely been one of the worst.
Yeah,
He's
that's
been
honestly, it's a
bottom
fair
3.
statement. Doug Peterson might be the worst coach in the National Football League. Number 2, you may not love this. The Cleveland Browns are the
I
most cooked
disagree.
team.
I think Miami is sitting pretty at number 2.
With no Tua, I think Miami might be more
okay.
cooked.
I get
Jalen
it.
Phillips just went down with an injury. The offense looks abysmal. Mike McDaniels looks like a one-trick pony. This defense is not going to get better throughout the end of the year. I think Miami's sitting at 2.
Cleveland just lost to the Raiders without Tay and Max Crosby.
You are cooking.
Now, at least Miami can get to a back week 8. There's nothing that the Browns can get to save them. That's kind of my thought process. But to be fair, I'm kind of drawing a dead conversation because my next team is the Miami Dolphins.
So it doesn't matter how you shape it. 2 and 3.
Yep.
It could be the
2A,
Browns. It could be
2B.
the Dolphins. Number 4, is it the Rams?
Panthers.
I do have the Rams here, unfortunately.
The Panthers are a good mention,
think
but they're
the
playing
Raiders
some
are
I'm just
good
going
football
off their
with
record.
I do
Just going
have
off the record.
The Raiders 5, but they're 2-2 as well. That's kind of why I have them in the Giants top. My number
trust
4
in
team.
Staffy more than anybody on the Raiders, hence why I would put the Raiders as 4, the Rams at 5.
I can't call them overly cooked because of him. What he just said exactly. Stafford's too good, and he keeps you guys in these ball games.
Let me ask you guys something. Based on how they've looked the past 2 weeks, are the Arizona Cardinals not looking cooked?
It all depends on what your expectation of them was. It all depends on what your expectations on them are. And I feel like we thought they would be an exciting offense, a high-powered offense.
Hasn't been
And
that.
it feels like the last 2 weeks they've already got figured out 4 games into the season. It's not something you want to see. I'll give them the adjustment period for me. I'm not going to say they're all the way cooked because I didn't have them as a playoff team, but I would like to see a little bit more from that offense.
I also want to throw in the New York Giants here. Their defense hasn't been great. Their offense,
Brian Burns has
Malik
been
Neighbors has
non-existent.
been cool. Daniel Jones, Wandale Robinson, Darius Slay, and outside of Malik being the
Wandale's been
golden
cool.
child, Wandale's not statistically. He's been cool. Watching has been an experience,
Like
a
Darius
bad
Slay.
one. Devin
Maybe it's
Singletary
the guy
also.
throwing him the ball.
Do you actually think that? Be real.
Daniel Jones missed every single deep shot in the Cowboys game.
Every single one's insane.
Almost every
80%
single
of them.
one.
I agree.
80% was
Oh, I agree with that because there was one that Darius Slay most definitely dropped, and it was an egregious drop. You're an
He's not
NFL
good.
player, you need to catch it. He isn't good, but a lot of this team isn't good. That's why I would put the Giants at 5.
So the top 3, we have the Jaguars, we have the Dolphins, we have the Browns. Who's going to be in those final 2 spots?
Raiders, Giants.
I can hear
Patriots?
the Giants,
They're not cooked because they're supposed to be bad.
Okay.
which is why you could argue they're cooked.
Are the Raiders not supposed to be bad too, though?
I feel like the Raiders are not supposed to be.
And the Giants?
I feel like the Raiders are about to go into a fire sale because they thought they would be better than what they expected.
Titans.
Oh,
The amount of additions they made in the offseason.
hey now,
They did just win their first game.
which is nuts because we
Against
thought
the
they would
Dolphins.
definitely have a win or 2 here.
Against
Yes,
the Dolphins.
is true.
Mason
hear
Rudolph
Titans.
maybe changes something.
They allocated a
They're
lot of
not
money in
dogging
free
just
agency.
yet.
I'm gonna hold
They're
on hope for
nearing.
Titans.
Really?
I agree.
So let's hold off hope for the Raiders because they are 2-2.
The
I think
Rams could get a
4
little bit healthier.
I think 4 we go Giants.
Yes.
5 I can hear the Raiders, and I could probably hear the Rams also.
I would
get
put
it.
Titans here. You have more expectations for them coming in.
At least
you
I
didn't
did.
expect them to get their first W literally this weekend. They brought in all these acquisitions. I would say Titans are at 5 at the moment.
Fair.
Right now, I have this Would You Rather for Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. It's a duo edition,
this. This
running
is
back
dope.
and wide receiver. The stock is extremely low right
as
now.
low as it gets.
So I want to see what these answers are. This is a Would You Rather running back and wide receiver duo edition, Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson versus the field. Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill and Devon H.
Hill and A-Chain.
I'm taking Garrett Wilson and Breeze.
You're nuts.
I'm dead serious.
No. Okay.
George Pickens and Najee Harris.
Oh my God. Give me Gary and Brees.
Garrett Wilson and
I
Brees. It's
agree.
not that muddy yet.
Najee Harris is killing this duo.
Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor.
Hell, production. Y'all Taylor's wilding.
Michael
Pittman's good
Pittman
too.
may be the most underrated
Nah, he
receiver,
is.
not
He
near
I think
George
Garrett is better
Pickens.
though. It's JT. How big of a gap is JT and Brees?
Well,
That's
right
what's
now
gonna
it's-
move me. Well, no, it's just in life.
Yeah, he's right. Nah, he's dead right though. I'm taking the Colts, bro.
I think here's the
I'm
thing.
gonna take the Colts
Take the
too.
Colts.
Here's why I think I'm gonna take the Jets. I think Garrett and Brees can be top 10 at their position.
Yo, but talking about
I
isn't
think Brees is
Jonathan
already
Taylor
there.
hurt right now? Did he get hurt?
Yes, he did just get hurt.
I don't
But
think
just
Michael
like in the
Pittman's-
grand scheme of
Oh, in the
things.
grand
I
scheme
don't
of
think
things,
Michael Pittman could be a top 10 receiver, and that's no shade to him. So I would go with
he's
the
good though.
Jets.
He's really good.
He's really good.
I'm
I'm
take
taking
the
the
Jets.
Colts.
I'll
I'm
take
taking
the
the
I'll go
Colts.
Colts.
Jets.
Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson.
Be fucking serious. Give me the Jets. Why are they up here?
I think better days are to come for Brees Hall. I'll take the Jets.
That's
Better days are to come.
Yeah, I agree,
I'm
I agree,
taking
I agree.
Brees.
If they not better
I'm gonna
than
take
them,
the Jets.
The bar is low, man. No offense to them, but they just mid.
Yo, respect Terry and Brian.
It's a division. I hate the
Guys,
Commanders.
whatever.
AJ Brown and Saquon Barkley.
It's not even in
AJ
conversation.
and
AJ,
Saquon.
yeah, AJ.
DK Metcalf and Kenneth Walker.
Ooh.
I'm taking DK and
Yeah,
Kenneth.
I'm gonna take DK and
Comfortably
Kennedy
this year.
DK's looked really
because I'm gonna be
nice
honest.
this year.
DK's
So is
another
Kenneth
guy
Walker.
that's probably better than Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
Those wasn't the conversations we were having months ago. DK's been hooping this year.
Shane Waldron was ruining his stock, man.
Shane Walton's ruining
I'll
DJ
go-
Moore.
Yes.
I'll go Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
Because of health right now, I'm going to go with this duo. Brandon Ayuk and Jordan Mason.
Brandon Ayuk and any running back there. Give me Brandon Ayuk and the boys.
Oh my God.
Brandon Ayuk's been trash.
Jordan
this
Mason's
year.
been second in the league in rushing yards right
He's
now.
been really
so he's
good.
playing really well.
Brandon Ayuk is still getting open.
You know what? I'm taking the 49ers, bro. I'll take the
Damn.
49ers. I'll take the 49ers.
Brandon Ayuk has been a 2-pack of ass.
He's really
I
been
think,
that bad.
I think when he gets to rolling,
Statistically, he's getting open.
So Brock Purdy's missing him.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's getting open.
Damn, that's one of the craziest vibrations I've ever heard in my life.
my brothers.
No, you're good, but it sounded scary.
sounded like 911.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that something was wrong.
When you have your phone off a lot, you got to be able to hear
I
it.
respect that. I'm gonna take the Niners.
Are you going with the
No,
49ers?
I agree with the 49ers too.
Okay. Marvin Harrison Jr. and James Conner.
I'm taking
Give me
Garrett.
the Jets.
I'm taking Garrett and Brees.
James Conner's one of the most underrated backs.
He's
in the
really
league.
good though.
Give me the Jets.
I'll take the Jets, but that probably sounds close.
Amon-Ra St. Brown and
Detroit.
Montgomery or Gibbs.
Detroit.
Gibbs.
Detroit.
I love Gibbs. Give me Detroit.
Detroit.
I
Comfortably.
love Gibbs.
Comfortably.
I think Gibbs
Comfortably.
clears Brace.
Comfortably.
I agree.
I think Gibbs is like the fourth best running back in the world.
Is he the best running back on the Lions?
I
David
think he is.
Montgomery's really good.
I think when you factor in his pass catching,
Yes.
yeah.
as a runner,
I think it,
as
as,
a, as a runner over,
Everything.
as a complete running back,
I don't know. I think
Everything.
Montgomery as a rusher might be a little bit better right now.
he's a more
He's been
physical
really
rusher.
good.
Against Seattle, Jameer was overwhelmingly better.
No,
Yes.
No.
Yes.
no, that's not a
Because
fact.
then you put him both that 3 goal line attempts. They gave 2 to Jameer. He still got in. That's Monty's bread and butter. As a rusher, how many times did we see Jameer hit that second level?
Montgomery had the biggest play of the
But
day.
that was a reception.
Yeah, I know.
That was a nice play.
You just said as a whole though, Gibbs was better than Montgomery.
He
in
is
that
as a
game.
whole better.
In
Correct.
that game, I don't
I'm
know.
gonna still say that.
I think Montgomery was a little bit better in that game. They were both great. I mean, they were running the ball
I mean,
down
I
Seattle's
guess.
throats. Okay, next name up, Drake London and Bijan Robinson.
I'm gonna go Garrett and I'm gonna go Brees.
I'll go
Me
Garrett
too.
and Bruce.
I like Bijan a lot though.
And the last duo up, Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara.
Give me Garrett and Brees.
Give me Olave and Kamara.
Kamara's getting up there in age. Not saying he's
Kamara
not nice. He's
is
still
one of the
nice.
best players in football right now. Right now in fantasy football, he's the number 1 overall player. And Chris Olave is one of them. He's around a top 20 wide receiver pretty comfortably
I
to
love
me as
Chris
well.
Olave. He's nice as shit. But give me the Jets.
Now, this week in the NFL/NBA, we can
Yes.
kind of tie this in with the NBA topic we were going to do anyway. It's just the biggest takeaways that you had from NBA Media Day. It ties in perfectly this week in the NBA/NFL. What do you guys got?
So mine is Jimmy Butler showed up in normal attire. I think he's locked in. I think we're going to see one of Jimmy Butler's best seasons that we've
Contract
seen in
year.
some time.
Needs
He
it.
knows what he's playing for.
Yeah.
He's playing for an extension.
You hear my comments?
No, he heard your comments and he's going to go and he's going to shut you the hell up because he's one of the all-time great playoff performers of our generation. You got to understand that and respect him. But what he's going to do with Miami this season is going to be special. And he didn't come in no funny business. Last year came in with the emo stuff. Year before that came in with the dreadlocks or whatever it was. I don't know what kind of hairstyle that is. That's on me. That being said, he came in regular braids. Jimmy Butler that we see on game day, he's locked in. We're seeing a serious Jimmy Butler this year, and I'm looking forward to it. Of course, the only other one that I feel like would be worth talking about for me would be Bronny and LeBron together. That's just a super cool moment for basketball. And I know a lot of people had the conversations about nepotism, and he only got drafted because he's LeBron James's son. And whether that's fact or fiction, regardless, this is history. The fact that we're getting to see a father and son, you have to enjoy something like that.
Is it fact or fiction? No, I'm asking.
I said whether it's fact
Well,
or
I'm
fiction.
asking you now.
It's probably fact. But Bronny is a good defender, athletic ball player who just needs to work on his jump shooting a lot.
Let's be real, bro. He's not ready, bro.
He's not ready. He's going to be in the G League majority of the year.
Did you see how they said he
I don't
dunked
like
on him?
I don't like the
He
nepotism.
dunked on
talk.
Bron?
No, LeBron.
Good, actually.
Yeah.
I love that.
I have this would you rather. I'm cooking, so go first.
Okay, so
This is media, correct? We're still talking about media.
yes, mine is more
He
so.
said ties. So I have.
my biggest one is the storyline too. It's the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid finally came out and said, you know what? I'm just worried about the playoffs this year. He's just trying to get healthy for the playoffs. And it took him a while to get there because I feel like these past couple of seasons, he was clearly chasing the MVP. I don't knock it. But when he has such an extensive injury history, you have to save your body for the postseason.
For sure.
Better late than never, but it's good that we got to this moment because the Sixers, if they want to go to the championship,
Need him.
They need Embiid to be 100% healthy.
If you want to go, you can cook with yours.
Here we go. All right, so I wanted to cook up this blindly ranking because you know how I get.
I thought about making one. I was like, Riv's gonna have one.
Yeah,
We don't need
I just have one because we had the quick hitters, and now I'll talk about my media day stuff. JC, welcome back. How we do these blindly rankings? I have 6 names. You blindly rank where you think they rank. Okay, you have 2 veterans.
I'm a
in
minor
this shit.
professional at
You
this.
have 2 veterans. at
Also,
this
it has
shit.
to be a collective thing.
For
We
sure.
gotta
You
agree on
talk,
one.
you
Okay,
conversate.
that's
The
cool.
veterans follow their
Let me
lead.
throw my sunglasses
So
on for
this is
time to lock in.
kind of similar to what I did last time. Blindly ranking NFL AP Offensive Player of the Years from 2000 onward. If you don't understand, these are players that won the Offensive Rookie of the Year from 2000 on.
We're here.
Okay.
First name up, Alvin Kamara.
He had a pretty awesome rookie season. I'm
It's one of the
leaning
best.
I'm leaning 4 or 5.
I like 5.
I like 5. I like
All
5.
right.
I like 5.
Send
We're
it.
starting off with 5. Alvin Kamara, let's put him here.
I love when we
It was
don't start
good. I
from
don't
the-
know if it was memorable.
It wasn't, but it was
Definitely
it was
wasn't
really
memorable.
good though. I wouldn't say it wasn't memorable. Him and Mark Ingram that year was pretty fun.
Next name up, a forgotten guy in the league, Sam Bradford.
6.
This could be 6.
It's no, it's not could.
Could
6.
be 1.
It could be 4.
It's 6. No,
be
no,
2.
it's 6.
Sam
6.
Bradford was really underrated.
6.
Let's go
6.
6.
Sam Bradford at 6.
It's the
Next
easiest.
name up, Robert Griffin III.
This is arguably 2 or 1. He had that good of a rookie season.
How many rookies have been better? I mean, Dak Prescott, did he win Rookie of the Year?
Dak did win. Herbert.
If you need a question
CJ,
on if somebody won it, you can always
it's
ask.
all right. I'm pretty good right now.
Baker Mayfield.
Dak.
Baker
Baker
Mayfield did
did
not
win.
win it. Baker Mayfield did not win it.
Cam?
Oh, that year, who was it? It was Saquon.
I can't tell you.
Yes, you're
But
right.
Baker,
Cook.
Baker
well done.
Mayfield
well
did
done.
not win it.
Well done.
Oh,
So-
I can tell you. Yes, Saquon
yeah,
did.
Saquon did.
Listen,
win.
RG3's number 1. He made the playoffs.
He did make the play. Can we go 2? Can we go
What
2?
do you think, JC?
I'm gonna go 2.
can't-
I'm gonna go 2.
Yeah,
I just can't think of rookie years that were
if we
better
get
than
Herbert,
RG3's.
if we get CJ, that's
We can live
probably
with
1.
that. Yeah, we can live with that.
I don't think CJ's rookie year was better than RG3's.
It's a good conversation. As a rusher, he was great.
RG3 was so nice.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
RG3 like changed the
Low-key,
landscape
low-key,
that year.
low-key.
He did.
I'm still staying firm on 2. Because Cam Newton can also
CJ
pop
won a
here.
playoff game,
You're
right?
right.
Yes, he did win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Who,
So-
RG3?
No,
he's talking about,
CJ.
You're
I think
right.
RG
That's why
got hurt. in the,
CJ, Justin, they were historic. Their
I don't know. I
rookie
just remember seeing the stuff that RG3 was doing,
It was
the
a movie.
rushing
Fun.
touchdowns.
It was a move. He
It-
rushed for 800 his rookie season.
Yeah, that just was the best rookie season I've seen.
Wish
I
he-
can get
wish he
that.
never got
Very
hurt.
memorable.
I get that.
So RG3 sitting at 2.
2,
That's cool.
Okay, next name up, Odell Beckham Jr.
3.
Yeah.
It wasn't better than RG3's.
You could debate. He did it in 12 games.
Yeah, he was historic
1,300
those 12
double-digit
games.
touchdowns.
No, you're right.
If we went 1, I wouldn't hate
Arguably the
it.
greatest catch of all
But
time.
because
like,
he's a wide
he was
receiver, I feel.
killing.
Are we going 1, JC?
I kind
know,
of feel
bro.
like this is why I wanted RG3 to win because Odell Beckham Jr. would have been the perfect 2.
So we have 3, 4. We have 1, 3, 4 left.
I'm good with
Yes,
3.
correct.
I'm good with 3.
I'm good. If we made him 1, are we crazy?
It's not crazy.
You know why I just wouldn't do it? Because I feel like he's gonna pull out another name. We're gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
But here's
I
the
feel
thing:
like
if we get a CJ, if we get a Herbert, and we put them 3, we can still have that conversation of, well, Odell Beckham put together maybe the most impressive rookie wide receiver season we've ever
12
seen.
games.
Yeah, I mean, it was better than Dak's season. I mean,
was.
Dak had the numbers, but he had Zeke
You know I
with him
love
as
to spoil
well.
things. Let me start by saying
No,
Dak is not on my
I
list.
hate you. I hate you.
Yeah,
Dak
but
is
if
not
we
on
get
my
Zeke,
list.
though,
What if we
Zeke
get
is number
Zeke?
1.
Zeke didn't win it. Zeke didn't win it.
Oh,
Zeke
he
was
should've.
out. He
He
lost
should've.
it. Zach took the
1800,
trophy.
right?
Zeke did
16.
not win it.
1,600.
1600. I'm cool to go Odell 3, but take a gamble.
Eddie
I think
Lacy wanted this shit.
What about Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase.
didn't win it. Yes,
He did win. Jettis didn't win.
Jettis did not win.
I think.
Jettis was
I think
Herbert
Jamar Chase
year,
is
I
over
think.
Odell.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Disagree wholeheartedly.
The Bengals went to
Disagree
the Super
wholeheartedly.
Bowl.
They did
go to the Super Bowl.
He did it in
Jets
12
this year.
games. He did.
Yes.
12 games.
He was.
But Jamar Chase
wilding
set
those
the,
fucking
Did it in
the
12 games.
record.
He did it in 12
I love
games.
this conversation.
He did it in 12 games, 1,300.
I start
Please.
conversations.
Yes, but then the
JC. That's
Bengals
what
made
I
the
do.
Super Bowl in Jamar Chase's rookie season.
Yes, but at the same, it was a lot of other factors beyond just him. If we're just talking the individual player, Jamar was amazing. Yes, it took him 17 games to accomplish it. Odell did it in 12.
And then they went to the
Fair
Super
argument.
They didn't have an extra
Bowl.
game. They
They
was
didn't.
16
They
games at the
didn't.
time.
But to
argument.
be fair to Jamar, he did break the record that Jett had put the year before that in 16 games.
Odell would have broke that record.
It would have. It would have been
would've
stupid.
obliterated it, yeah.
I'm actually gonna stamp Odell 1. I'll let you guys decide.
You think that was better than Jamar Chase?
I was good with you. I was good with you on 3. I mean,
feel
you want to go 1?
I'm really on 1 now.
He's not feeling one.
It's,
know what?
I'm gonna put it in your guys' hands.
Nuts.
1.
Resume.
I'm going 3, so it's up to you. You got
going
the
3.
top
I'm
rating.
All
going
right.
3. I
All
feel like
right.
we're gonna have
That's
a
fine.
crazy name.
That's
yo.
fine.
Next, name up Justin Herbert.
Okay. Now this is kind. We have to go 1. We
think
kind of
so?
have to go. You want to go 4 and take the chance?
I'm not mad at 4. Like, I know that Justin Herbert statistically is better than Robert Griffin III.
Yep.
But what that meant, like, I'm putting myself back in that time, the Andrew Luck versus RG3
We should
debate.
put Odell 1.
RG3. We should put RG3 1. That's what we should
I'm
have
not
done.
mad at that either. I'm not mad at that either.
So Herbert at 4?
Herbert at 1 is not bad either.
It's
though.
not bad.
No, it's not.
His
But we're
numbers are
taking. Here's the thing.
crazy.
We could play it safe with him at 1.
His numbers were.
Or do we
crazy.
take a fucking shot
And
in
he
the
is
dark?
the best player, tier 2.
Joel, let's take a fucking gamble right now. Let's
You
put
think
him
we're going to get
4.
a player
You know what?
better?
Let's put him 4.
He leveled with us the last time. Let's
Yes.
put him 4. Let's go
Okay.
4.
See what happens.
Okay.
If we get CJ, we're okay. If we get Cam, we're okay.
That's valid.
If he fucks us and gives us Eddie Lacy, we go over there and we beat his ass. Here we go.
Let me start by saying Eddie Lacy is a crazy
All right, here we
name.
go. Come on,
So
let's
you
go.
have Justin at 4?
4.
Okay. So you're sitting pretty at 4. Here we go. So the guys you have Sam Bradford at 6.
I'm cool.
Calm.
It's a perfect list so far.
You have Alvin Kamara at 5.
Cool.
Calm. You have Justin Herbert, which might be the shaky one, at 4.
That was a little
You have
low.
OBJ, which also might be the shaky one, at 3. You have RG3 at 2. The number 1 name is Vince Young, sitting at 1.
This is terrible.
Oh man!
Should've
I
put
love
Herbert
it, I
at
love
1.
it.
We really should have.
Put Herbert at 1.
You went with the
We should
wrong
have put
guy.
Bradford at 4 because Vince Young was a perfect 6.
No, yeah, Vince Young was definitely
What the hell did he even do his rookie season?
won.
He won?
Oh my God.
He won.
Whoa. 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Nah, bro. You screwed.
He won. No, he's up here. 2006. He won. I don't know what you
Oh
want to do
my
with that.
God,
Did
bro.
they make the playoffs that year?
That's a great question.
Bro,
Tell me
Young?
anything good. 12 touchdowns, 13. All right.
He went
rushing.
8. He went
They
8
went 8
and
and
5.
8. Jeff Fisher. 8 and 8. They did not.
Well, his record was 8 and 5 as a starter.
Oh, so he came.
He took
late.
over. He took
All
over.
right, bro.
8 and
Can you
5.
just
In
tell me
five
the
is
rushing
nuts.
stats?
Because he
or
was on the
something?
cover of Madden.
He was.
Was it for that year?
It was after his rookie year, I'm pretty sure.
51% completion percentage.
God, Joe, that was terrible, bro.
I'm miserable.
12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Yeah, that was terrible,
goodness.
bro.
You
How the hell did he
us,
win?
man.
Probably with nobody else.
Oh my God, bro.
You should have went with you had it at Herbert.
Yeah,
I'm looking at JC like Herbert at 1 is fake tough.
Bro, Herbert 31 and 10. Now our is 12 and 13.
I can't wait for the
Oh my
comments to cook you
goodness.
guys.
We had so many great options.
Yo,
So the
Herbert
list-
would have been valid at
So
1.
the
too,
li-
bro.
how are we reordering this list?
Yeah,
You put
Vince
Vince at
Young
6.
last, Sam Bradford
Brad
5, Kamara 4.
You basically go like this.
Yeah, I'd probably go Herbert 3, RG3, or Odell 1, 2.
Yeah, Herbert could be 1 as
He
well.
could be.
Just statistically, he was
Yeah,
the
he
best.
was.
Yeah,
But what
4,000 yards,
Odell
31
Beckham Jr.'s rookie season, the moment
the aura was crazy.
it was, and also with RG3 too, the energy around those rookie seasons definitely
Yeah.
Facts.
supersedes what Justin Herbert is rookie.
No,
season.
yeah, Odell or year was like
Bro, people were
goated.
getting his haircut.
yeah, no, like he
Everybody
had
People
the
still
world.
have his haircut.
So like all right, so back to media day stuff. I saw a couple things that piqued my interest. Paul George, one of my favorite players ever. Shout out to my son PG-13. Not mentioning the Bucks in the top of the East conversation. You know, he was having a conversation. He said he felt like they were right there with the Knicks in Boston. Kind of not. I don't want to say kind of like just forgetting about Milwaukee, but kind of just not mentioning them in that conversation. I thought that was interesting. I guess they don't see them as a major threat, or they feel like those are the top 3 teams. You know, you are entitled to your opinion. I do think Milwaukee is still in that conversation, in that bunch. I think they're one of the 4 best teams in the East. Another thing Kawhi Leonard, he said he's still coming along with his offseason knee procedure. It's day to day. He's hoping to be healthy on day one. And for a team that kind of lost Paul George and they gained a couple pieces, but you need him and Harden, Kawhi and Harden to kind of be relatively healthy this year. And it's unfortunate for Kawhi. I feel like he's one of those what-if players because I feel like as great as he's been, as great as he is, we have been hindered by his injuries that have caused him to miss multiple playoff series, playoff runs. Seasons, opportunities where he could have really established himself as either one of the best or going up against one of the best. And it does suck. He is probably not as big of a what-if as like Grant Hill, Derrick Rose, Brandon Roy, Greg Oden, not those types because they really didn't get to show us too much. But
his career definitely left a lot on the table. His career
definitely left something to be thinking about. Like, damn, Kawhi could have won more. He could have done more. And then my last one was Ime Udoka and Fred VanVleet, man. They were talking about how they made it clear there's no excuses. They know what they want. They know what they expect from themselves. They want to make the playoffs. And I think for a team that, we had a conversation about who were the deepest teams. And I think Houston is definitely one of the deepest teams in the league. I don't think they have the top end talent of Phoenix or they have the 2-star talent of, the Lakers.
But they have Sengun.
What a way to stop a conversation.
But they have Sengun.
The disrespect to Alperen Sengun.
I just named AD, and you're talking about fucking Sengun.
Sengun is going to be one of the best centers in the NBA, whether you like it or not.
I don't care.
It may not be with the Rockets, pal.
Oh,
what do you mean?
It may not be with the Rockets.
Traded?
Yes, it is. You think the Rockets are really going to let go of Alperen Sengun?
it's not hard.
Maybe.
Why would you even say that? Assume something so crazy.
Who the fuck do you think this guy is?
Alperen Sengun, what, a guy who just averaged 21, 10, and 5 as a center? That's who I think he is.
Go look at Jalen
Who won
Green's March
Turkish League
runs.
MVP? That's who I think
Go
he
look
is.
at Jalen Green's March runs. He's
won
never done
Turkish
what
League
Jalen
MVP.
Green's ever done.
That's fine.
What Jalen Green did in March, Alperen Sengun has never done in his career.
And Alperen Sengun just averaged in a full season 21, 10, and 5.
Oh, shit.
He basically played a full season.
Didn't
it was
they
like,
win
what,
without him?
60 games?
Where'd they win it without?
It was against teams that were
Did he play
terrible on that
over
win streak.
65 games?
If Jalen Green was actually
Beat the
consistent for the entire season,
Beat the Suns.
the Rockets would have made the playoffs.
Beat the Suns.
Oh, so it sounds like he's the key.
Jalen Green?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
He's been the key.
they need somebody that's not
He's averaging
inefficient at the 2-guard position. So you think Jalen Green's better than Alperen
I didn't
Sengun?
say that.
I didn't say all that.
Don't push
I didn't
that
say, I
narrative.
didn't
We
say all
didn't say that.
I didn't say all that. I'm just saying at their peaks, I watched Jalen Green peak a little bit higher.
I can only imagine how you were acting when Jokic was in year 3, man. You probably weren't high on him at all.
Hey, listen, that's when Andrew didn't know ball like that. I didn't know Jokic was a future star.
I will say though, I think Houston is a little bit deep. I think they have like a good 9-10 rotation, maybe even 11. They could sneak into playing. They'll definitely have a chance. I don't know. I got to see how things work out, but I think they have a chance. I think they have a really good team. I think they have a good bench. I think they'll have one of the best benches in the league. I think they have Ime. They believe in their coach. They have a good veteran crew. It's just like we talked about before. I had a little funny jokes. Sengun, Jalen Green, Amin, Cam Whitmore. These guys have to step up. Reed Shepard coming in, Tari Eason being healthy, Jabari Smith. Like, it's gonna take their collection of youth.
Fucking young ass team.
No, this team is dope.
Yeah,
and they have
cool.
Dylan Brooks. They have Fred VanVleet. Like, Jock Lando is a good role player when they get hurt.
They got draft
Steven
assets.
Adams is a good vet.
Steven moves me.
This is a good ass team.
They have assets.
So they can trade Sengun. But I said that to say they're a really good team, and I think this team is gonna make a lot of noise. They made noise last year to end the year, and they're only gonna continue that trend. I really like Houston.
My now, like the media shit that we're talking about right now, like I guess mine is Ben Simmons, just because when we came in here, he was like, "Yo, are you buying the hype?" I've seen the hype for 3 years, but on a serious note, I think Ben Simmons on the last year of his deal. He makes 40 mil. He makes 40 mil.
Down.
He's on his last.
He deserved it back in the day.
Yeah, he made an All NBA. Was second in Defensive Player of the Year when he got paid. Obviously, the contract
Did he
hasn't.
get paid again after that?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay.
He got he got paid off that stellar season that he had, but
only the Nets would take on that contract.
I mean, shoot, man, nobody thought he was gonna be this bad, bro. At least I didn't. But I guess this is a huge season for him, not only for his future. Well, it's a big season for his future in the NBA. Okay, this season is gonna dictate if he's gonna be making league minimum money or if he's gonna get I don't want to say a max contract because I don't think he's that anymore. But if he's gonna get paid and be in addition on a lot of teams in the NBA, he's saying that he's fine. He's been healthy. I know back injuries and surgeries are nothing to to play with. I've actually kind of grown a little bit of like, what's that word when you feel bad for someone? Like, for lack of better words, like
Empathy.
I'm understanding.
You're empathetic.
I'm understanding of his
Okay, that's it.
situation. So this is a huge year for him. I mean, I'm not buying the hype because the hype comes out all year. He got him shooting threes in the practice gym. We know that's not happening this season, but I'm a Nets fan, so I'm gonna have a close eye out for Ben Simmons this year. I'm rooting for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have a little bit of not envy, but I have a little bit of like
Empathy, you mean?
empathy, yeah, for him, just because I know that's a hard injury to come back from or whatever the
nah,
case may
envy's
be.
crazy.
Yeah, my fault. I think he said envy, my fault. Well, actually, now with the way he's been playing, low key, I was envious. But then I was. But then when you look at the severity of that injury and him saying he hasn't been able to walk and stuff, this is a big year for his career, bro.
I'm not judging
This is a huge year for his
You
career.
say league minimum. Are you good enough to be in the
And yes,
league?
and that's me being nice,
Yeah.
bro. I don't know if anybody's gonna take a chance on him, but this is a huge year. This is kind of like an audition for his career. So I'm a Nets fan. I'm definitely gonna be watching out for it. I'm a Nets. I'm a Nets.
Come
I'm
on,
gonna watch
bro,
the
we're
games.
here.
But
It's crazy.
now we
Bro,
is
come on.
Now
I'm
we
not
is
here.
crazy. Now
We're here.
We're gonna be whack. But
There's
you
nothing
feel
in
me?
Brooklyn I'm here for.
Nah,
All
we're
right.
gonna be whack. But
Trivia time.
yeah,
What we're gonna do is you guys are gonna tell me, because there's only 10 quarterbacks right now that have a completion percentage of 69% or higher. And yes, I chose that number for a reason, because there's only 10. Go ahead.
Josh Allen.
You get one strike, so don't fold.
Sam
Two.
Darnold.
Can we get two?
I said one.
Can we get two?
Wait,
I'll give you
completion
two.
or quarterback rating?
Completion
Oh.
percentage.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, you're treading on fucking muddy water, 69%.
I know.
Number 10.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, number 1. Come on.
I can't say Josh. That's my guy.
Number 1.
I don't care.
Jaden Daniels,
Josh is my
82%.
guy.
The GOAT.
Don't say what you're gonna say. Don't.
No, say it again.
I don't want you to get it wrong.
What?
Because you only get one strike.
Don't.
No,
get,
you said
don't,
two. We just
Don't say
finessed. You said
Darnold.
two.
Don't say Darnold.
Don't say
said two.
Darnold. I was about to say Darnold. Joe Burrow.
Crying.
Joe Burrow, number 5,
He
70%.
fucking stole my name.
My fault.
70.9%. That matters.
It
Okay.
does.
I'll go Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, number 8, 70.5%. One strike.
No, two. You already
I
said
said
two.
what I said. It is decided. One strike.
He's cheating, man.
I'm trying to think right now. Give me a little moment, all right?
All right, I'll give you
If
a
you're giving
moment.
us one strike,
I'll give
gotta
you
us
5
some
moments.
You gotta give us some
One.
time. No, you gotta give us some time. One strike.
Yeah, let me get some time.
Yeah, one
All right,
strike.
10.
Damn.
10, facts.
Yeah, don't count down.
Damn, you should've
Don't
been
put
two.
pressure on me.
All right, sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of NFL teams right now.
I'm definitely gonna look at the NFL teams. Well, I'm not.
5.
Let me
Two.
show the
I'm
fans.
gonna go with Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers,
Fans.
you're
I'm
gone.
looking at the standings, fans, to show you I'm not cheating. I'm just looking at the standings.
All right, JC, lock in.
I'm just looking at the standings.
Justin Herbert.
Okay, it's looking like we're going back to 2 strikes.
No,
Go ahead.
no, change the Geno fucking Smith.
Number 2, 72.3%. All right, now lock in and kill this whole list.
Okay, let's do it. How many I got left?
You have number 3, number 4, number 6, number 7, number 9.
What? We didn't get anything? Yes, I get shit.
I said Justin Herbert. I
What the fuck?
Herbert, I lost.
Damn, I got a long way to go. All right, here we go. Okay, so Tennessee, fuck no. We're going with the Raiders. Absolutely, God not.
Absolutely, God, not.
Hey, wait a minute. Oh
my God, I should have said this dude's name.
I can't trust you. I don't want to trust you. Let's go Lamar Jackson.
Strike 1.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek Carr is number 3.
Said Derek Carr,
Let's kill the list, bro.
Yeah,
Kyler
just-
Murray.
Kyler Murray is number 9, 69.4.
I didn't think he was up there.
Come on, that's all he does.
Okay.
Complete
Who else?
easy passes.
Come on.
Gardner Mitchell.
Yes. Fucking idiot. I don't know why you didn't trust me. 6, 70.7%.
I just felt like that's something you troll about.
Me
you
troll?
hate the Raiders.
Fuck him. All right, lock in. Number 4. Easy.
Brock Purdy.
No, not
CJ
here.
Stroud.
Not here.
It makes sense. He
Number
has
4 is
a
easy.
A dot.
Number 4 is easy. Off this last week, number 4 is easy. Off this last week, number 4 is easy.
Jared Goff.
Bang. 71%.
Who else?
I want it.
You have number 7 left, and that's it.
Matthew Stafford.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
You got it.
Kirk Cousins.
No.
Okay.
You got it.
No.
You do have it.
I think I do.
You have it.
Is it?
You have
Jalen Hurts doesn't it? No, you
Is
guys.
it? You're done on guessing.
No, I don't think it's him.
Yeah, it's him.
It's Baker Mayfield.
We already said that.
Dak.
You're done with guesses.
So I am right.
No, you're done.
Oh, so I'm right. How am I done? I got the most right.
You did, but you also, I said you got it and you didn't get it twice, so
If it's not him, I'm gonna be shocked. This is Bo Nix.
that's not.
Justin Fields.
I should have got it.
Guys, you should have.
Damn,
You
bro.
should've. It is
I saw the
Justin Fields,
Steelers. I was like, hold on.
70.6%.
The Steelers.
He's at what?
70.6%.
Steelers.
Oh,
That's pretty sad. Bo Nix only throwing like 5-yard passes.
No, he's been not that efficient.
Shit had me look
I
at the
thought it'd
NFL
be
revenue.
him.
I just saw the Steelers. I was like, oh, Justin Fields.
It is Justin Fields.
Damn, we got packed up though.
So number one, Jaden Daniels, 82%. After week 4, number 1 in completion percentage, Jaden Daniels, 82%. Number 2, Geno Smith, 72.3%. Number 3, Derek Carr, 72%. Number 4, Jared Goff, 71. Number 5, Joe Burrow, 70.9. Number 6, Gardner Minshew, 70.7. Justin Fields, number 7, 70.6. Number 8, Baker Mayfield, 70.5. Number 9, Kyler Murray, 69.4. And number 10, Josh Allen, 69.3.
Of all the crazy things that can happen in the NBA, let me give you one thing that can happen. It just came to my mind when he talked about Ben Simmons.
Yes.
What are the odds that Ben Simmons gets balled out by the Nets halfway through the year and he goes to the Phoenix Suns
I was thinking
and
that
gives
too.
them a defensive presence,
I didn't want to say it.
gives them a passer?
Dude, they got Ryan Dunn.
Ben Simmons clears
He does.
right now.
He does. I don't disagree. I was just joking. However, that'd be awesome
Why the Suns?
because they
They
need a
need
defensive
defense.
presence.
Needs some size, some rebounding.
He's an insane black hole on offense.
Big time.
So it have to be like he's really changed.
But you don't
Yo,
think
but
you don't
what if
think
he
you don't
was
think he could
Isaiah
play off
Hartenstein?
not play off, but you don't think he could just I mean, damn.
I don't think he
Where are
is.
you gonna have him though?
But you
What
understand
position?
what I mean?
Point guard?
I know what you're
5.
saying.
Yo, but Rick,
Ugh.
what if Ben Simmons offensively is Isaiah Hartenstein?
That's why I said like, what is he going to be on offense? We have to
Isaiah
show.
Hartenstein.
And they
That's
have
fine.
Budenholzer. So
I think Ben can
Budenholzer-
play the 5.
But that's why if he's Isaiah Hartenstein,
valid.
he's a positive.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
He's just not as good as a screener.
Agreed.
He wouldn't be as good of an offensive rebounder. So, but yeah, if you're thinking like that, yeah, for sure.
Rim protector.
Because
no.
Gilbert Arenas recently said that he thinks that Ben Simmons could be to the Suns what Draymond is to the Warriors.
We've all
They've
said,
been
how
trying
many
to say
times
that
have we
for a
said
while.
that?
I don't believe it, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I do think Simmons would be a good fit in
I think
Phoenix.
it's different because Dre's willingness to at least attempt to take the 3 ball.
yeah.
And this year he was good.
Oh yeah,
And attack the basket.
Ben, the problem with Ben, Dre's really good at attacking mismatches. Ben is just so timid at times. It's
Ben
really
can make
hard.
Ben can make the reads off the screen, but like you said,
He's
it's just
not
a jump
aggressive
shot.
enough.
The aggressiveness is not there.
I just want to see him shoot it. I don't care if
That's
you
all we're
miss.
asking. Like at least a mid range.
I don't care if you miss.
the fucking
Shoot it.
midi.
People will laugh, but you know what? Inevitably, the defense will start to respect it. If it starts
Not if it
playing.
doesn't go in.
I just want to know, where did his development go wrong? Like at what point in his life did they decide his development? Like did they just stop developing? Because I felt like him in Mount Verde, to him his last good to great year, he kind of looks the same. Like he's looked like the same
the lack of
exact
jump shots.
player.
Lack
Yeah,
of
it's
him
like
just
it's
wanting
like,
to expand
when
his
was
game.
it? When did somebody? Why did nobody step in and be like, "Yo, brother, if you get a jumper, just a mid range and 35% from the 3-point line, you're probably the best in the league, bro."
People were saying this to him. It's him. He doesn't want to do it.
But I feel like even
He's been on
but I
multiple
feel like he
interviews and
also-
been like, "Yo, I don't feel like I need a jump shot."
See, I feel like
That's what he said, though.
If people are saying that, you don't have a proper good team around you. Like to get better and to want to improve, I feel like you also need a stabilizing team around you, like a really good connection of people that are around you that help you get better day by day. And I feel like and I'm just me speculating, but I feel like he didn't have that. For him to say that, where are your media people to tell you this is not some shit you say in the media? Where are your media people to tell you, well, dude, you got to get better, you got to work on this, you got to work there. You had potential that was really foundational. Like you
Nah, for
really
real.
had potential.
Yes, bro. Everybody
It's
knows
Is there a single player in the league that doesn't need a jump shot outside of Giannis?
Probably big, man.
And I'll put Zion in there. Those are the only 2 players legitimately that do not need a jump shot to succeed.
yeah.
In
What do you
an
mean by
entire
succeed,
lead to be effective.
John Morant.
But at least he attempts it.
John Moran, yeah, he at least
But I don't
attempts
think he
it.
needs
He's a-
what do you mean
he's
by
whatever.
need a jump shot?
I get what he's saying with the
he's
Giannis.
saying-
I get what you're
he's
saying, bro.
Ben Simmons is saying, I don't need a jump shot. I don't need one.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
which-
he's bugged out.
I feel like only 2 players genuinely have shown they don't need a jump shot to be effective. Ben Simmons has failed to be
I
that.
don't think Zion has showed it yet.
But Ben Simmons was effective without a jump
Disagree
shot
though.
before.
He just dropped 40 against
All NBA
against us.
player?
In the playoffs, he hasn't showed
All
it.
NBA.
And
He just dropped 40 against us.
The playing.
I'm gonna keep it a G, bro. You know when I
Playing is
really
a
knew
playoff game.
You know when I really
But
knew it
it's
was
not a
over for
playoff
Ben
series.
Simmons.
But it's a playoff atmosphere.
You're not facing a team multiple times where they could adjust to you.
But you understand. But regardless, in terms of level of success, he's
If you go
had for a
regular
whole
season, I
season.
would say John Morant.
But he still shoots the basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that. Ben
still
Simmons
shoots
doesn't.
it.
Yo, Ben Simmons isn't
But
even
people still
look
guard
for
him
that.
the same way they guard Zion.
No, really?
They sag off John Morant. You don't want him. You don't want to.
John's a better shooter,
But
than
they're not
Zion, though.
sagging off like that. Like I watched him versus the Lakers, although he didn't have
No,
the best
no,
of
like
series.
if you
He was
want, like
shooting
with
the
John
ball.
Moran, how they guard, if you would live with him taking a jump shot, but he'll take it though. I don't think like Zion Williamson is different. I just don't think he can shoot at all, in my opinion.
I don't think
John
Zion
Moran,
or
John
Giannis-
Moran has a little bit of pulse to be able to, like respect it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think nobody respects.
But I'm
that.
gonna keep it G though. I knew it was over for Ben Simmons when Kobe Bryant was trying to offer him constructive criticism, saying like, "Yo, you're gonna regret later on in your career when you have a jump shot." And he scoffed at his rookie year, like, "I don't need a jump shot. Look what I'm doing. I'm about to average a triple double." I knew it was over for him.
That's ridiculous.
That's what he
But you
did. And
understand
it's
what I mean?
actual fact,
Like,
though.
You need a jump shot unless you are a one of one
If you're a
strong
superstar or
individual.
an all-star,
Yes.
yeah.
You think Ja's jumper is that broke?
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about how defenses guard you. Like,
They're guarding him like Zion.
Like I think
Maybe I
unless-
know
they
to
definitely give him some
watch.
space for
unless
sure.
like you don't like not like the
'Cause he's an
same as
elite
Zion,
attacker, yeah.
but like
He's
you're definitely
ridiculous
sagging
at
off.
attacking
You're,
the
you're
basket.
definitely sagging off Ja.
100%.
Unless you got insane help.
Yeah.
But you're definitely sagging off him. I think with like Giannis and Zion, they're a little different because they're big men, so they play closer to the rim anyways. Ja is more of a guard, but to like Giannis, really, I would say is the only one that's really like he doesn't need a jump shot, and you see him like championship.
Yep.
Has
All
40
NBA
point
player,
games, like,
MVP.
I just gave Zion that respect because he did just average 25.
Yeah, no, I get
26
that
or
part.
27
Well,
when
his
you're
second year,
60% true
26 on
shooting.
60.
He's definitely he's definitely
Who else? I don't. Yeah, it's really hard to like.
Like
grab
even
somebody.
Jokic, who's the most dominant interior presence outside of Giannis, he can come out and stretch. So what if the best in the game can stretch the floor at some capacity, although right now it's not at the level we saw when he won a championship. Who are you to come and say you don't need a jump shot?
I think it's over for Ben Simmons unless he goes to a good situation that actually has a role for him, because the Nets right now are kind of just like floating in thin air right now.
Yeah, we are.
And
We're
they
trying
don't
to
have
build
direction.
this trade value and trade him.
You have a lot of good.
Well, they
players.
have a direction and they're tanking.
Yeah, of
you know?
course.
They don't have a real role
trade
for
him.
Ben Simmons to actually contribute to winning basketball. That's why I think it's likely that he gets bought out. Honestly, I think he's not going to really try if it's a team this bad, and maybe he doesn't try anywhere else either. That's just who
Would
he
you
is
take
at this
him in New
point.
York?
No,
Okay.
I think the Suns is a good fit for him. I'm not gonna lie to you.
no,
You wouldn't?
No,
At all.
back
No.
to 5.
no.
No, hell no.
I don't think Ben Simmons can play the 5. I think we want him to, because he can't shoot, like, so out of necessity, but he cannot rebound over bigger players. He cannot hold
let him
them in
play
the
the four.
post either.
He's not a good.
He's just not
a
that.
good rim protector.
No, but then it's like, and that leads in perfectly to this. This is the last statement I'll say on the Ben Simmons thing. The goal of getting Cat was to have a 5-out space and lineup.
For sure.
I don't even know if Ben Simmons is better than Precious Achua right now, if I'm being honest.
That's wrong.
You've hit
You
low.
think that's wrong?
I'm gonna take Ben Simmons every
Yeah,
time.
100%.
Yeah,
Every
really?
time.
Yeah, me too.
Every
What
time.
is he showing?
Me
You
too.
think
I'm
that's
with you, bro. I
crazy?
think that's
No.
I think Ben Simmons offers more, bro.
I think
Theoretically,
I think yeah. The
I think he
idea
does.
of Ben
Hey, in
is-
like the 3 games he played last year, he was actually pretty good.
I think the idea of Ben is bigger than the actual reality, like what we've seen.
Off the minimal games he played last season, he was actually
In
good.
the most pointless minutes ever.
I mean, that's every Nets game.
Yeah, it's true. It's
So what would he look like in actual minutes with an importance on those?
You don't think he offers like slightly more value than Achua on the court?
Like what?
Like being a better decision maker, being able to guard the
Playmaker.
perimeter
not a better
better.
rebounder.
I mean, to be
Not a
a,
better
to
rebounder.
be a good
That's
playmaker,
That's what Precious does.
That's all he does better than
Yeah,
that.
but Ben Simmons doesn't even look at the basket to try
to
to
be a good
finish.
playmaker, you have to be somewhat like I have to be worried about you going to get a bucket.
He has to be
Yeah.
aggressive.
I'm not worried about you going to get a bucket.
Now
I
Ben
know for
Simmons is a
fact
good
you're gonna pass
playmaker,
this
bro.
ball.
He's a good
No,
playmaker,
he's a good
bro.
passer.
He is a good passer.
He's not.
He's a very good
If
passer.
you're guarding him, you're sitting there like, I know what you're gonna do. Like you're gonna pass the ball. You're gonna do a dribble handoff. You're gonna run a pick and roll. You're not going to the rim, and you're
Crazy.
not shooting
Not
that
going
shit
to the
at
rim is
all.
embarrassing.
So
Now, I'm
it's
not gonna
like,
lie.
I'm not worried about
Listen,
it.
I watch a lot of Nets games, bro. There's a lot of times where he can attack the basket
Yeah,
and he
and he
just doesn't, bro.
yes.
He just doesn't.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, but
I think he's a really good passer, though.
I don't think the Knicks should really take a risk on it. I think the
Yeah, nah.
Suns
Is he
can
not like
because
a
they
worse,
need some defense.
worse Josh Giddey?
He's way better defensively.
Way more athletic.
He's
Right
way-
now, Josh Giddey's definitely better.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I
Yeah.
think he has the same, like essentially the same issues as Josh.
My
Giddey.
thing is, I think-
Josh Giddey just got
Bro.
shipped off of a playoff team.
God, saying
They
that
got-
Giddy's
they
better
became
than him,
unplayable.
it really doesn't.
I
sit
just
right
feel
with my
I feel like
spirit.
there's some value there with Ben, yo. I don't think he's
He's
all
a
the
good
way.
passer, so is Giddey.
I think he's a
Defense,
better
Giddey's
defensive
not.
player.
Ben Simmons last time on the scene was not a good defender.
What?
When?
Yes,
He
he
was
was.
not. No, he was
Yes,
not.
he was,
No,
bro.
he was not.
Were you talking about 15 games?
What the fuck? You just told me he was good off too.
No, well, off the minimal games, yeah.
What
he
you about
did
to tell
look
me?
good.
Like 4 years ago,
All right, so let's keep it G. Has he regressed as much as Josh Giddey as a defensive player?
Josh Giddey was never a
Never.
defensive
That's what I'm
player.
saying, though. But Ben Simmons is still a good
Ben Simmons
defensive player.
regressed as a player.
Ben
Nah, he's
at
regressed
his
as a
worst
player,
is
but
still a
defense-
better defender than
Yeah,
Giddey.
of course. That's just not even
Fine.
close.
Yeah, duh.
That's just
But
not
he's
even
not
close.
playable. That's the point.
Is Giddey?
Exactly.
Yo, around the
He's a
right,
worse
listen,
Josh Giddey.
around the right lineups, I think you could play
Josh
him.
Giddey was just
On the
in a-
Suns, you could play him.
What's OKC system? Is it not great?
Yeah.
It is.
Josh Giddey couldn't play in it, right?
Yeah.
But Ben Simmons wouldn't be able to thrive there either.
That's
No,
my
no, I
point.
get you- I get what you're
He's
saying.
not going to be able to thrive. Like maybe Phoenix, sure.
Phoenix,
Bulls.
I think, is a good situation
Bulls,
for him.
They ass. Yeah, he probably can thrive on an ass team.
Nah, I don't see
I
him
don't
on the
even know
Bulls.
if he can. I think
I don't see him on the Bulls.
Hornets?
Is that a good system? No.
Well, just they need a little bit more defense.
Bro, the Suns,
Another
bro.
connector.
What do you think he's bringing to the table?
No, but I'm just saying, though,
Defense.
that's essentially
Passing.
playing off
What's
three
a-
great
what's a-
offensive players.
What's a really good system like Boston? He couldn't thrive in Boston. I would much rather Sam Hauser, not even trolling.
Of course.
I would much
I
rather
agree.
Al Horford at this
I
age.
agree.
I would much rather Xavier Tillman.
what about Luke Cornett?
That's where you.
No, this is where you're getting crazy. Xavier Tillman, bro.
Bro, he was locking up stars. So I'm like,
keep
fuck.
locking up.
Nah, they
stars.
were strapping Luka.
Did he? Wait, did he?
He was on switches. He was holding. Like,
Nah, he was strapping- he was strapping on
he
the
was a
switches.
demon
I ain't
mode.
Did
gonna
he do this?
He played good defense.
He was
They call
locking
him the
really
X
good
for a
defense.
reason.
Huh?
They call him the X.
No, even in Memphis,
He was a really good defender.
backup
No, for
big.
sure. He was a good backup.
Ben
there.
stinks.
No, 100.
He might.
I agree.
Can I stay hopeful?
I just like add no value to like a team like Phoenix or three offensive engines that they're not gonna give a shit about him that he's gonna.
They
I
don't
think he
have
can
three
do that.
offensive engines.
Who?
Phoenix.
You don't think Devin Booker,
kinda
Kevin
do.
Durant, Bradley Beal?
Not offensive engine.
Not anymore.
He was efficient last year. Respect him.
Yeah, but he's not offensive engine.
Not
You
anymore.
could argue.
Offensive players, my fault.
You can't.
All right, two offensive engines and a
Yes.
solid offensive player.
Is
I
Kevin
think he
Durant
could
an
thrive off
offensive
that.
engine?
I think so.
Do we know what offensive engine is?
Yes.
Is Kevin Durant an offensive engine? You be honest.
He's getting disrespectful.
Yes, it's
yeah,
Kevin
you're getting
Durant.
disrespectful.
Why?
So
why
Kevin
do you
Durant
think
could-
he's not?
Kevin Durant could walk on the team and they're a top 5 offense.
Yeah, Kevin Durant.
What depends what team though.
Kevin Durant played with no help versus the Bucks, and he took them to
Talking
7.
about okay.
He dropped 49
We're
in
talking
game
about
7.
the regular season right now. We're not talking
No,
about
but
a
it
5
also-
game, 5 game,
it also
6
depends.
game sample size. I apologize.
I definitely think that if Kevin Durant, regardless of like the supporting cast around him,
They could be a top 5 offense, top 10.
for the top 10 offense, and he'd average 35.
If he was on the Hornets, could he?
They have LaMelo.
And B. Mill.
He's the playmaker.
Would they be a top 5 offense?
Yes.
I agree.
I agree.
Would he go to the Pistons and they'd be a top 5 offense?
well, they're the bottom of the barrel.
That's why I'm
barrel.
asking.
No,
So then, Cade Cunningham's not an offensive engine.
not right now.
What?
Houston, a team that's interested in him. Well, they were interested in him.
Interesting.
You put Kevin Durant. I think they can be a
What
top
were they
5
last
offense.
year?
I don't know.
I don't know
I believe
off
middle
top
of
Like
the
I
pack.
think Trey Young is an offensive engine.
I was gonna say Atlanta,
he
but
goes
I
out there
was gonna
every
say
year, he's top
Atlanta,
10.
but
Yeah,
I was gonna say
he's
Atlanta.
a walking top 10 offense
is.
because of his playmaking.
Yeah, but they're not
Luka,
top 5 though, right?
offensive option. Nah.
No,
No,
but you
top
said
10's still
top
impressive.
5 or
He
top
did
10?
say top 5.
I asked top 5 or did I
Yeah.
say top 10?
Yeah, you're mentioning like great to elite offensive engines with playmaking responsibility. Like I think Alperen Sengun is an offensive engine.
Yeah,
I think you can play through him.
I think it's nothing. It's not even a slight to Kevin Durant. I just don't think he's not a playmaker. Like he's not a playmaker. That's all
Rockets
it
are
is.
20th in
He's more of a
offensive rating.
connector.
But Kevin Durant averages like 5 to 6 assists per game for his career.
If he went to San
For
Antonio,
the last
top
4
5?
years, it's been 6.
I think he's more of he's a scorer.
Of
He's
course,
a scorer, but his scoring brings
he's developed
gravity.
a lot as a passer though.
And then he makes these passes.
What
He
passes?
does.
He's gotten
He's
better
a
as a
better
passer.
playmaker
He's gotten
than
better
you
as a
give him
passer.
He's a
credit
connector.
for.
Rick
gotta-
has seen like 2 KD turnovers, and he's like, "This is who he is."
Can you
say that.
respect him? The only thing that he sucks at is going downhill.
I don't think he sucks at a playmaker.
Going downhill.
At this
that's
point,
what
what rim pressure?
Yes,
yeah,
that's
he's
I think he's a good playmaker.
Yeah, he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
He is.
Is he running my offense? I don't know.
Hell no. Running your
You're telling
offense,
me that,
nah,
but-
bro. You can't run your
I
offense.
need to talk to
Like,
him.
wait, you're running
Look, look.
as in set people up?
No, you need to talk to him. I'm not being. He said hell no.
No, wait, as in set people up, be a
mean, you're
primary
running my
ball
offense.
hand? Nah, I don't
But
think so.
listen, he's not a point guard.
That's what I'm
but
saying. I thought it
there's-
sounded like
LeBron's
you
an
said.
offensive
There's
engine.
offensive. There's
dad.
different types
Fucking
of offensive
LeBron.
engines. Is Joel Embiid an offensive engine?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Is who?
Hey, Joel
Joel
Embiid.
Embiid.
Absolutely.
If Embiid's an offensive engine, and so is KD.
I don't disagree.
KD's
Who's a
better.
better playmaker?
'Cause an offensive, an offensive engine to me is
You're a big MB guy. That's what I'm asking.
KD clears.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not saying much.
Now here's a better question: Giannis or KD as playmakers?
Giannis.
Giannis got
I think Sabonis
Giannis
is
got
an
way
offensive
better.
engine.
Who?
Sabonis.
Low key,
Why
yeah,
do
he
you
is.
think he is? Because
Because-
he runs the offense.
He
Yes.
initiates. He initiates.
I feel like an offensive
Top five
engine
offense.
is a
Kevin
player
Durant
that
doesn't initiate the offense.
I agree.
Kings top 5 offense.
That's why.
I know, but there's a difference between initiating and also playing through. I think, especially in OKC played through KD.
Of
Like
course.
Scott Brooks didn't have like a set system. They
Did
played
they play
KD.
through Steph Curry or KD?
Come on, stupid question. We know who they played through. Like,
But when KD was in Golden State, they played through both.
no, they played through Steph Curry.
Not all the time.
Okay.
Most of the time it was.
There was a
The
reason.
offense. You know what? We're not going to get into that.
No, there was a reason why the Warriors' offense got static in the playoffs because they played through KD.
No.
That's why
no, when they
it's-
changed the offense to playing through KD for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
saying that's what all I said is that they played
but
through
the
KD.
offense
But
is
was it
run
wrong
through
though?
Steph Curry.
He was getting a lot of
There's a reason
one-on-one
why
matchups.
There's a reason why they dropped off a cliff offensively when Steph got hurt,
This-
and then when Kevin Durant got hurt and Steph stayed, they're still the best offense in the
Nah,
world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
sure fact.
When
they
you run
had
that offense
they
through
had
that, but Daddy,
Of course.
it works.
Hell yeah.
When you run that offense through Daddy,
Yeah.
it's still.
I mean, Steph
It's his
Curry,
system. Of
Steph
course
Curry,
it's
yeah,
gonna
Steph
work.
Curry's a
It's a
better
system.
offensive engine than KD, but that entire system was built around Steph.
sure,
But when
yeah.
KD went to Golden State, they very much played through KD.
That was
as well.
that was when they went ISO ball. That's
the
not really a
playoffs.
system.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, that's just ISO. That's just ISO.
That's
So you know
just
what?
we
You're
have
right. That
more
really is
talent
that
than you.
really isn't a system.
Like,
You're right.
you because Sabonis is a initiator and he's also they play through him. Like I think Kevin Durant they play through him, but I don't think he's an initiator. That's why.
But if you play
Yeah.
through somebody, you are the engine of that offense if they're playing through you
the truth.
offensively.
that's fair. That's fair.
Like
I don't
AD.
disagree. Like, but would you say
In
because
the Pelicans, would you say he was the offensive engine?
AD?
Yeah,
the Pelicans?
you would say.
Yeah, they
yes,
look
you
for him
would
every
say
play.
that.
Yeah, they look for him
not
every-
amazing, not a really a great
So,
playmaker.
so what you're saying is there's different players
Ways
have
to be,
different.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I get you.
Golden State also played through Klay Thompson, but he's not an offensive engine.
Yeah, but Clay and KD just different tiers.
Yeah.
KD is a top 10 scorer ever.
No, but like the definition's the same. They play offenses play through both. Kevin Durant is just so much.
I mean,
above the
KD's a better
world.
scorer, better
Yeah,
passer.
of course.
Yeah, like
But I wouldn't say they played through Klay Thompson.
And
Are you
I
calling
don't think-
Rajon Rondo an offensive engine?
No.
no,
Right. Okay. So then playmaking simply doesn't make
but he didn't do both.
who?
If you notice, the guys who I'm calling offensive engines do both.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they set it up.
But
and
yeah,
then-
but Embiid really only this season has become a really solid.
You said
playmaker.
AD was an offensive engine too, right?
In
He
the
didn't do.
Pelicans.
He didn't do both.
He didn't.
Tracy
he didn't
McGrady
do
was
both
that
with
with the
Rondo
Magic.
got
Yeah,
there.
he didn't.
He
Correct.
didn't do both.
Or
McGrady
Drew.
with the Magic was an offensive engine for them.
He did both. He did everything.
Kobe offensive engine.
Of
He did
course.
Yeah. Come.
KD's in that category. He's an all-around
yeah,
player
KD's
too.
there. KD's there.
I'm not saying he's a great
I'm
or
not-
elite
Tim
playmaker.
Duncan.
But
He's a
offensive
solid. He's a
engine?
good playmaker.
Yes.
Okay.
They did both.
They did do both.
I think Kevin Durant in Phoenix. I don't think he does everything. That's why. I'm just talking about Phoenix. I'm not talking about like his career. I'm just talking about in Phoenix. Like I think Devin Booker's the engine.
I agree with you.
I said there
I'm
were
not
two
saying-
engines. I said probably you could say Devin
Which
Booker
is
one.
fair. I don't
You
think
could play
he's
through
wrong.
KD and D
Yes,
Book.
yes. I think the
Bradley Beal, I was tweaking.
Yeah, you was.
I was tweaking.
That
I was
really
tweaking.
what
I was
started
tweaking.
it.
I was tweaking. I was tweaking.
But the disconnect is probably just me thinking you have to be both, which is fair.
Now, the Knicks and Timberwolves trade, after thinking about it, I think it's a win-win trade. I think both teams got exactly
we
what they
can
wanted
agree.
out. Well, I never said the Knicks lost the trade.
I'm not saying you
You were
did.
definitely
never-
very angry.
You weren't the.
I wasn't
that's perfectly
angry
said.
about it. I was just cautious about it. I was
We
concerned
got
about
big
the
power.
move.
It's up.
Here's the thing. I think it was a win-win trade. Both teams got exactly what they needed. I think we can start there, right? The Timberwolves, they got off a Cat's contract. They were still able to create flexibility while also competing now, because I think there is a possibility the Wolves are better now. I mean, that's a realistic outcome because they got better depth now and because Julius Randle is an all-star in his own right. And then with the Knicks, they needed a center. Mitchell Robinson is hurt, so they made this move because you need a starting five out there, or else you were going to see Jericho Sims or Precious Achiuwa at the five. Now, we can start on this trade, breaking it down from the Knicks' perspective, then go on to the Wolves and ask the questions of, just answer the questions of the flexibility and the fit and if they will be better. Now, with the Knicks, this was the move that they made to go all in, to put the chips all on the table to win a championship.
Here we go.
Now, JC, what do you think about this move? Because we haven't got your thoughts on it.
I've tweeted about it. I'll be one to say I didn't like the move. I think you gave up a lot for Karl Anthony Towns, who I believe doesn't really move the needle that much. I much would have rather the Knicks run it back with Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo. Obviously, we didn't get to see how that went in the playoffs because your team got depleted with injuries. And at this point, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people are going to agree with me, but I don't think there's much of a difference between Karl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle. Julius Randle's been an all-NBA level player 2 times with the Knicks. They've had success. Obviously, last year he was hurt, whatever the case may be. But essentially, when I look at the the broad scheme of things, like you basically had Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. You add them to the Knicks, and this is your definition of you going for a title. I don't think you're better than Boston. I don't think you're better than Philly. I don't think you're better than a healthy Milwaukee. I mean, that's just my opinion, though. I have reservations on if you guys would be better than a locked in Miami Heat team. I just think listen.
So we're not better than Miami.
No, I'll give you the edge. I'll give you the edge.
No.
I'll give you the edge.
JC, in a playoff series, how many teams do you think are better than the Knicks? Because you just need 4.
JC.
No.
Miami was one of them.
I said I think like basically Miami.
that tier.
I got the Knicks over Miami, so I think the Knicks finish 4, Miami finish 5. If they meet in the playoffs,
I'm
reserved on that low
JC,
key.
I can also ask you this question.
I'm reserved on that low key.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay, go ahead.
Last season,
Uh-huh.
if OG doesn't go down, they go to the ECF, correct?
I mean,
If OG doesn't go down, they beat the Pacers.
who else got hurt though? I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank.
No, I'm just talking about in that individual series alone.
No, I know OG. Who else went down in that series though?
Mitchell got
Bogdanovich.
hurt.
Yeah, you know what?
Get hurt late.
He did no.
Hartenstein did get hurt,
Did he
bro.
get hurt?
He did
Mitch
get
got hurt
hurt.
against Philly.
Mitch got hurt against Philly,
Bo-
but then
Bogdanovich
Brunson
got hurt,
in
twisted his
Game
ankle.
7. If OG doesn't go down, do they win the series? They go to the ECF. Yes.
Yeah, but then I would have to do that for the Bucks.
I
Because
just
Damon.
in this series alone. All I'm asking is just this series alone.
But why can't I add the Bucks though?
Yeah,
if you
have
wanna-
to kind
if
of play
you-
the same.
Damon Giannis is crazy, bro.
they are crazy. I agree with that. But we just
All
saw
right,
them-
I'm gonna answer your question. I'm not
Yes.
about it. I'm not.
Okay, thank
do
you.
they? If they're healthy, the
if they're
Knicks
healthy,
absolutely.
Yes. And that's without Julius Randle.
Pretty much.
Now, this offseason.
Don't think the Indiana Pacers belong there, but okay.
I don't disagree at all.
Okay.
Now, this offseason, they got Mikal Bridges and they traded away Dante DiVincenzo. Who's a better player, Mikal or Dante?
Mikal.
Okay, so
sure.
you gave away Dante, who was awesome for you guys, no doubt about it. He was one of the glue guys.
He's one of the best shooters in the league.
But you get Mikal Bridges, who essentially is a higher powered version of Dante DiVincenzo because he's much better on the defensive side. He's not as great of a three-point shooter as Dante, obviously, but Mikal has shown he can score the basketball at a better clip. Yes.
Yeah, at a better clip. Yeah.
Okay, so Julius
It's not something
Randle,
you go to,
who was
though.
not even a part of the run at all, they still would have been an ECF team. You lose Isaiah Hartenstein. That's bad. He's one of the best defenders last season. He was one of the biggest surprises for the New York Knicks because of what he was able to also bring to the offensive side. Really good connector, had good touch around the rim. So we're not even thinking about Julius Randle with the Knicks. We're taking Isaiah Hartenstein away, and we're putting in Karl Anthony Towns. Do you lose a lot of defense? Absolutely. Do you gain even more offense with Karl Anthony Towns?
For sure.
10,000%.
For sure.
One thing that I saw from you, Mr. Moran, and I thought that it was a fair statement to make about Karl Anthony Towns' playoff performances, is that you mentioned around 20% of his games in the
26%.
playoffs that he's had less than 40% from the field.
In the last 4 seasons.
In last postseason for Dante DiVincenzo, 6 of the 13 games that he played were under 40% as well.
From 3-point shooting?
The one with New York.
Wait,
that
3-point shooting?
From the field,
And Golden
under
State, we couldn't play
40%.
him.
Under 40%. 6 of the 13 games were under.
You don't think that's increased offensive role?
I do believe that was.
Well, look. In the grand scheme of things, this is how easy we gonna break this shit down real quick. Do you think the Knicks are better than a healthy Milwaukee Bucks?
Yes.
I can argue
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Do you think they're better than the Celtics?
No, absolutely not.
Do you think they're better than Philly?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
So
think
if they can't get past Boston, they can't win a championship, correct?
But it's-
I don't think that they
Yeah.
can get past Milwaukee. I don't.
They don't
I
have to
don't.
get past Boston.
Milwaukee's
I don't
been a
think they can
first
get
round
past
exit
Milwaukee
2 years in a row
But
because
they've
they
got
failed to
hurt.
stay healthy.
They've got
But
hurt.
that's something you
The
got to
Knicks,
look into.
the
it,
Knicks
though.
weren't healthy last year either, and that's why they didn't make it to the ECF.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. It's a fair
You know,
point.
it-
But Mikal is one of the safest players in
Look,
basketball.
as crazy as what he did on Twitter, I agree with him. If you really read off that Knicks roster, does that shit scream championship to you? Because
No.
that's essentially what this move was to win a championship.
But you
does
have
that
to
shit
go
scream?
all in.
Does that shit scream championship for you? Do Cat and Mikal Bridges move the needle? Cat is ass
But
in
you
the
have to put
playoffs.
in
He's
Jalen
not that
Brunson.
good in the
But
playoffs.
Jalen Brunson's a
He's
top
not
3
that
guard.
good in the playoffs, bro.
But Jalen Brunson is that good in the playoffs, and
No,
he's
he's good.
arguably
No,
a
I'm not
top 3
talking. I'm not
guard in
talking
the
about
league.
Jalen Brunson. I am
But
not talking
he's
about
your
Jalen
best
Brunson.
player. That's really why I don't like that the conversation has shifted strictly talking about Karl Anthony Towns.
That's what they
'Cause
traded for.
But last season he shot 35% from 3, which obviously isn't great.
That shit is league average.
But he's also a big man.
in the regular season or the playoffs?
No, in the playoffs. in the playoffs.
he shot like
35%
40
from
in the
three.
playoffs.
Because he's been really
But
bad
it
in the
was
playoffs in
really
his career.
because of the WCF that his statistics went down.
The biggest series of his
I
career.
agree.
So defense took a hit, you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so-
But the defense didn't take a hit because of Cat.
But
Because Hartenstein.
Hardenstein, that's why. But the defense
doesn't help it,
in the
though.
grand scheme of things.
Cat
It
doesn't
won't
help
be
it.
better, but it could be as
Mitch is
good
already out,
because
though.
you get Mikal Bridges in there.
The defense cannot be as good.
I don't think so
But
either.
you have Mikal and OG.
With no Hartenstein, the defense
I
cannot
think
be
it'll
as
be a
good.
top 13 unit.
No.
13, 14 unit.
This is the thing, and
but
this is
Josh Hart's still a great gritty. You know what I mean?
They don't have no
Knicks have a
backline
good team. I'm not
defense.
saying they have a good team.
But Cat isn't a cone defensively. It's not like he's
good.
terrible.
He's
Yo,
there.
do the Knicks win if Embiid's 100% healthy? I mean, he was dominant, but
He
they didn't win.
was.
No, he wasn't 100%
He
healthy, bro.
basically was.
Yes,
he wasn't 100%
50
healthy.
in
That
one of
Philly
those
Did you
team
see him
just wasn't that
defensively
good.
that series? He couldn't even move that series.
That
On
Philly
the,
team just
Okay.
wasn't that good.
you
in my
got Paul
opinion.
George?
Well,
Yeah,
now
that's
it's
huge.
a
yeah, they
that's what I'm
lost
saying.
the Embiid minutes completely when he wasn't on the
But
court.
this year is different. Like I think they're right there.
Maxey, I mean, listen, like, I think the Knicks are the fourth. If you want to say third, cool.
I can hear the Sixers low key. Sixers are a
I
good
think the
squad.
Sixers, Boston, and I really think people are disrespecting the Bucks, yo. I really do, bro.
I get it.
Like,
I
I get it. We're not even talking about their play. We're just talking about them being hurt. But
Yeah.
this conversation is like, in a perfect world, if everybody's healthy, I think Milwaukee's a better team than the Knicks.
I believe in
I
Philly.
do.
And I believe in Philly, not even because of Embiid or Paul George. I believe in
Maxey.
Philly because of Maxey.
He's a
Like
dog.
Maxey's
Maxey's
gotten
different, bro.
better every single year.
Yes,
amazing.
bro.
And I believe in his ascension. So like, and I think all four of these teams have depth issues. And I think Boston
Top heavy?
I think Boston Boston has the best guys, not because they're talented, but because they fit within the system and because the continuity is there. I think with Philly, Milwaukee, and the Knicks, they're gonna have struggles.
Think Knicks better than
at
Miami
this-
stamped?
I think they're better
In the
talent.
playoffs, in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, I mean, Miami can be better than all three of those teams. Realistically, if we talk about
That's why I have
their
my
voodoo,
reservations on it. I
but,
got on
like,
5. I got the
think
Knicks 4.
talent-wise, New York should beat Miami. Like if they lose to Miami, I would deem that as a failure. Like real shit. Like you're losing to Miami. That is a failure.
No, it's a failure for sure.
But I think Milwaukee, they're the oldest team out the bunch. You know, they're also the team that they have the unhealthiest players in the starting
True.
five,
That's
like
true.
them and the Knicks. You know, and on top of that, their stars are old. So that's the problem here. I think Milwaukee. It's not that nobody's forgetting about them. You have Brook at the 5. Brook is clearly regressing. You know, you have Chris Middleton. He's already on.
He was good last year in the
Yeah, but
playoffs.
he's already injured going into training camp.
Yeah, I heard about
Then,
that.
Are you going to get a healthy Dame back? I believe so, but I don't know. Giannis, is he going to improve his game? You know, you have to wait for that jump shot to consistently be there. You have shooters that are good,
Gary
but the
Trent?
defense is still going
Gary
to take
Trent?
Yeah, Gary
And
Trent's a good
Torian.
shooter, but they don't have a good defense. I don't think Milwaukee's
agree.
going to have a good defense.
You don't think that Brook and Giannis can carry them just defending the
Brook
rim?
Lopez is
Brook
regressing.
fell
He's regressing. I don't think Giannis can.
You don't even think he's a
do that.
quality rim protector, Brook Lopez, at this stage of
He
his
still
career?
is.
I think he's a quality rim protector. I think they're going to need more than that. They don't have nobody on the perimeter.
That's true.
Like nobody.
That's gonna be the Bucks' downfall, is that the perimeter defense just isn't there. You know, I've told you guys how I felt about the Bucks. I think if they're healthy, they're gonna be a threat in the East. I think the Bucks are very talented.
Was it you that said, or that they were making fun of you on? Not making fun,
Definitely
but
was him.
talking about
Bucks over
on
Boston, yes.
Nerd Sesh with Jokic.
Yeah,
Joestar.
on State of the League
State
podcast.
of the League podcast.
So what happened
facts.
is that after we got through the topics, Jack asked me, Jokic Joestar, his name is Jack. So Jack asked me basically, you know, what's my finals pick? And I said the Celtics, right? You know, obviously the Celtics. And then I asked him, what's the tally right now? Like, what is it? And he said, everybody so far has picked the Celtics and they've picked the OKC Thunder. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna be different right here. I'm gonna pick the Bucks because I want the next person on the show to hear the tally and be like, who the hell picked the Bucks? And then Carson was on the show, and then that's how we heard about it.
that was good. That was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good clip.
So okay, this the thing, and I was reading the comments of the last YouTube video that we did on the reaction. My thoughts were very fresh at that point; they were very raw, and I want to clean some things up. This is the most excited I've been to watch the Knicks ever in my life.
Easily.
I want to make
Great team.
that clear.
Be a good team.
I am very ecstatic for this current roster. That doesn't mean I have to just think we're going to the finals and I can't have my valid concerns. Because if Cat were to get traded to any team, my concerns would have been the same. It's not that I'm trying to hate on my own team. It's I'm being objective about the Knicks. Because I remember a point in time where I wasn't being objective about the Knicks, and that made me say we were going to be the 3rd seed when we picked up Kemba Walker.
Star J.
So now I'm over here and I'm being realistic. Knicks fans can be very unrealistic. I experienced that firsthand with how high they were on RJ Barrett. He eventually got traded and wasn't a part of our core. I experienced it with other instances as well. And I think this Cat instance is one of them, to where Knicks fans are just overlooking all the flaws and they're buying into him 100%, but there are some valid concerns. Before I get into those things, I will say this offense is going to be amazing. I mean, this offense is going to be unguardable, and the reason why I love this move is because we signaled we're building around Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle, you're not a good fit around Jalen Brunson's game. Jalen Brunson is one of the very best players in the NBA right now. And I was doing some point guard rankings not too long ago, and I stumbled across these numbers on Jalen Brunson that were pretty eye-opening. I'm going to get them after I finish this monologue because I got to go through my notes. But now we have spacing galore around Brunson. Cat is a 40% three-point shooter. He's very efficient above the break shooting threes. Mikal and OG are 40% corner three-point shooters. Josh Hart can be streaky, so I think his defender will probably help off more, and he'll collapse on those Jalen Brunson drives. But the pick and pop game with Cat, I think is going to be unguardable. You now give one of the best drivers in the league the ultimate space to drive to the basket without any clogged lanes. And last year that was an issue. So offensively, we have been maximized. Like, this is going to be a top 3 offense in the NBA. There's no doubt about it. And that's not what I'm concerned about at all. I don't have any concerns about the offense. My concerns come from the defense. If this was any other team, we're looking at a 6 foot guard, and we're looking at a 7 foot slow-footed big man and saying that's going to be a problem in the playoffs. And I think it is going to be a problem in the playoffs. Karl Anthony Towns, when he plays center compared to power forward, he fouls so much more. 2 years ago in the 2022-2023 season, when he played center, he fouled 22.8% of the time. That was his opponent's free throw rate. So this is opponent's free throw rate. When he played power forward, it was at 17.4%. This past season, when he played center, the opponent free throw rate was 23.2%. At power forward, it was 16.9%. Karl Anthony Towns, over the last 4 seasons, has led the NBA in offensive fouls per game. And this is where I think there's a little bit of a regression from Randle to Cat, is the fact that we gain shooting, but we don't gain another playmaker and initiator on offense. Karl Anthony Towns, when he drives, he's looking to score. He's not looking to pass. He has the highest turnover rate of any player that drives 5 times a game to the basket. So Cat is a very turnover-prone player. He fouls a lot, not only offensive fouls where he can get a little bit clumsy and lose his control, but he fouls on defense. And now he's the back line of our defense. He's the last guy that players are going to see. And naturally in the playoffs, they know his weaknesses. They're going to try to attack him and get him into foul trouble and get him out of the rhythm of the game. And then in the playoffs, in the last 4 playoff appearances for him, or I should say, in the last 4 seasons in totality, 26% of his games, he shot below 40%. I feel like him and Dante is a different scenario because Dante's shooting most of his shots from threes, where Cat is working outside in space, but also in the paint. And then for his career, Cat is 30% of his playoff games, he shoots under 40%. So there are valid concerns about Cat, who he, to this point, hasn't been a playoff riser. Jalen Brunson is a playoff riser. OG Anunoby plays well in the playoffs. Mikal Bridges, who had a breakout season with Brooklyn, the last time we saw him in this role in the playoffs, averaged 11 points per game. So we got to see how that offensive leap looks, not only with this supporting cast, but in the playoffs as well. There's a lot of ifs that we're making with this team, and we're hoping everything goes the right way. But me being a lifelong Knicks fan and a lifelong Jets fan, my mind a lot of the times goes to, well, what can go wrong? Because that's what's went wrong. I thought we were making the conference finals for sure. And then we got injured. We got decimated with injuries. And that's another concern. OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, they're injury prone. And we don't have the depth to replace a chunk of their minutes in the regular season. So now we're relying on these guys to play more minutes in the regular season because our depth also took a hit. Now, if we trade Mitchell Robinson and get some pieces back, then I'll be okay with it. But there are some question marks with the Knicks. And when we make a gamble as big as this, I'd like for there to be more sure things. I'd like for there to be more assurances. Oh, we're getting a proven playoff performer who I know can step up to the moment. Oh, we're getting a guy that I know can go toe-to-toe with all of these guys in the East. That's what I'd like. But, of course, we don't live in a perfect world, and I'll end it off with this. This was a move that the Knicks had to make. We don't have a center. Julius Randle was going to play center for us this season, or Precious Achiuwa or Jericho Sims. We needed a center. And we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. We got a center, and we got more shooting. We replaced Dante DiVincenzo's shooting, and we got a center. So it was a great move. Like, I'm not saying it's not a great move, but we can't just gloss over the weaknesses that come with cap.
And the financial cap. Because I was reading something that said you guys don't go over the second apron this year.
No, we don't.
But next year.
I think it's actually 3 years from now. This year and next year, we're not over the second apron.
Yeah, like that shit, the financial responsibilities. But I think I have a question because it's a bit of a hypothetical. Because I feel like everybody's picking Boston to come out. And rightfully so. They're probably the best starting 5 in basketball. Probably the best team in basketball. And I think we all think the Knicks have a chance. Some think Puncher's chance, some think less. But we all think the Knicks have a chance. What would be a player that, like, how many players could you plug into Jalen Brunson's spot and you would think the Knicks are right away just better than Boston? Like, how good are they?
The only player that you can object to, there's 2 guards.
Yeah, I would say guards.
That they could beat Boston. Luka, SGA. That might be it.
That's it. And Steph, maybe, you know.
I'll respect Steph Curry, of course.
So no 2 guards? Like, could you plug in?
No, respectfully.
They're that good.
I'm going to be honest. It's a wing player. It's another wing. It's another player that can just
like LeBron
get his own bucket.
Yeah.
Of course. But, like, that means I don't have Brunson, but it's just Bron.
Yes.
I think Bron can do it.
Healthy Kawhi Leonard.
But then they don't have a playmaker.
That's the playmaking aspect. That's why I'm trying to think of.
Are you
players
saying
like
in
that.
the place of Brunson?
In the
Replacing
place of
Brunson.
Brunson's gone.
Like, I think LeBron's valid because he can run the point guard.
You know, here's the thing. We don't live in a perfect world, of course.
Yep.
So, you know, these are the moves that were offered to us. In my fantasy land, I don't make the Mikal Bridges trade. I make this cat trade, and I circle back on the Clippers at the
you go
trade
get
deadline,
Kawhi.
and I go get Kawhi.
You was talking about
In
that
a
all
fantasy
summer.
land.
He was trying to get
And
Kawhi.
I trade those picks to the Clippers.
But now
and
you're tripling down on injury
He
prone.
hasn't been healthy.
I understand that.
Postseason.
I circle on KD, even though I think the Suns are going to be pretty good this year. But I say that because, like, yes, we're tripling down on injury, but we're taking a risk regardless. And I think the ceiling with Kawhi
Way higher.
is that.
And I think
it
Cat's,
is worthy of it.
Cat's average games missed is heavily weighted off the one season where he missed 29 games, where he played 29 games.
That's not entirely true because the
To
past
start
four,
his career, he almost never missed.
you're right. The past 4 seasons, there was one season he played 74 games. I think that was 2 seasons ago.
Last season
last
he
year he
played-
played 50.
Yeah.
And then 3 years before that,
50
that was
flat?
I think it was around there. And then
Missing 30 games is
Yeah.
still a lot.
3 years before that,
Agreed.
it was the 20-game season, and then he played a season where he played like 60-something
I was going to
games.
say, he played 62 games this year, missing 20 games.
That's 20.
That's 20. He played 29 the year before that, 74, 50. Then played 50, 35, which was the bubble year, which,
Yeah.
you know.
So 3 out of 4 seasons, he's missed 20 games
But then
or more.
77, 82, 82, 82.
So prior, he was really healthy.
He was. It's
When they started
that
getting
COVID year.
competitive.
The COVID year, which obviously we know Karl Anthony Towns went through a lot in his own personal life too. He has started to miss games, but 74, the 21-22 season, that's great to see. 29's terrible, but I do believe a lot of it is weighed heavily off of that 22-23 season. I
But
look
it's
at him.
still 3 out of 4 seasons he's missing 20 games.
It's fair to put
I don't think the Knicks could afford 20 games of missing Cat.
Can you afford that with Randall then?
Yeah.
A little bit more, but
could.
either or
You
no.
just made an argument
But
that
that's
you could.
exactly my point.
Just because we had Dante,
That's my point.
a little bit more. Because now we don't have Dante.
Dante
Now,
was spectacular.
but you have
last year.
McHale.
yeah, but we don't have
And OG.
a bench though now. Last year we had a bench.
But you don't have a bench now. But that's not. I'm
I
not
like
blaming
Cole.
Cat because of that.
like Tyler.
You had a bench because you had Bogdanovich. I'm blanking on his first name.
Nah, Dante would have been on the bench.
He would have been on the bench fair,
That would've been
but he
Dante,
was
Hart.
starting in the playoffs.
I'm saying, but they would have got McHale. Then it would have been Dante, Josh Hart, Deuce.
Josh was starting regardless,
Josh wasn't starting.
but he's starting now. He's starting.
He has to start now.
Well, now, yeah. No, wait.
Because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
gave
yeah.
up no players to get
didn't
McHale.
I'm saying
didn't
prior
Dante
to-
start because of the OG injury though?
Yes, yeah. I'm saying prior to Cat,
No.
Start.
he did.
When he got hurt, yeah, he did.
No,
Yes, he did.
I believe Josh was the one coming off the bench. Dante was the one
No, 'cause
starting.
remember
for him.
Randall got hurt.
I'm thinking postseason.
I'm saying before the Cat trade, it would have been Brunson,
I'm here.
McHale,
Yes.
OG, if Mitch was healthy, Randall and Mitch, then they would have had Hart, Deuce, Dante,
Off the bench.
and whoever the 4 big man backup they could
depth.
find. That would have been dope.
That's
you're right.
my point. I feel
Because
like the
Randall
Knicks
was
should've
hurt.
stayed
You're
intact.
right. Dante did start. But the issue now is that like, okay,
stayed, bro.
if
That'd be
Randall
crazy.
got
That's
hurt
what
for
I'm
us,
saying.
we have Dante. He wouldn't fill in the starting lineup because we have our guards
with
solidified already. But he would come off the bench still. Where like if Cat gets hurt, we don't have that same punch off the bench that we had with Dante. I do think depth is going to be a problem. But like I mentioned,
Hart has
with
to start
Jalen
now.
Brunson last year, these are the top point guards offensive rating when on and off the court last season. Number 1 was Jalen Brunson. 123 offensive rating with, 108.4 without. That was a plus 14.6 swing. Number 2 was Luka at 8.4. So Jalen Brunson, the offense took a 6-point hit when he wasn't on the offense. That's a bigger dip than when Luka was with the Mavs, SGA with OKC Thunder. That's how valuable Brunson was. And that's another concern now that I have with the Knicks is like, okay, when Brunson's off the court, who's initiating the offense?
Has to be him. Or
Now-
Mikal, because Brunson's a one-man show.
I agree with that. Now listen,
This is the 2010-2011 Bulls, upgraded as fuck.
Deuce as your 6th man off the bench is not bad.
Yeah, you just
Like
have to-
objectively speaking, it's not bad.
Let's
The
see
way
a
that he
lot of
performed
Deuce.
against the Pacers, he genuinely. If I'm a Knicks fan, yeah, we lost Dante. That's a
you
fucking
make, you
blow.
make the move because you feel more confident in Deuce.
But exactly, and we've had this conversation when Emmanuel Quickly got traded. When you guys brought in OG Anunoby, we can find another Emmanuel Quickly, and you saw that with Deuce McBride the way that he was playing. You saw that with Dante DiVincenzo the way that he was playing. You move on from Deuce. You move on from Dante. You bring in Mikal. That's an upgrade. You have now Deuce as your 6th man. Is that as good as Dante?
I like Tyler, man.
No, Tyler Kolek. That's
him.
fair.
He's
Landry
he's an older
Shamet.
player.
Landry
too.
Shamet.
No, I'm gonna be honest.
Mitchell
I
Robinson
don't-
when he comes back.
I don't think Landry Shamet off the bench with Tibbs will be terrible.
But I say that with
think so.
Tibbs,
Probably like
Deuce
Kyle
McBride
Korver.
as your 6th man, that excites me.
No, I like Deuce McBride a lot. My
Well,
problem
Tibbs
is
ain't gonna play the bench that much anyways.
my problem is
Word,
not
he
the
doesn't
6th
go that
man. My
deep in
problem
the
is who
Seven,
after,
eight.
after Deuce.
So Mitchell,
But Mitchell's not healthy right now.
but come December.
Yeah, that's a couple months from now.
Shit.
But that's what the Celtics are waiting on with
I know
KP.
Yeah, but they can afford that.
Of course. But I think till December, you guys can afford that.
I don't know.
Precious.
But the way that you guys played, the fact that your starting 5 played as many minutes as it did come playoff time, the wheels ended up
Probably
falling
gonna
off.
be Deuce pressure right now. Deuce pressures and Tibbs
Shamet.
love vets, so either Shamet or Payne.
Yep.
He loves. I wish you had another wing off that bench.
I think we do need to keep Mitch. I know his name has been in trade rumors. We need a rim protector.
Need it.
behind
Think about
behind
getting
Cat.
Walker.
Yo,
Yeah.
Mitch and getting Walker back would be crazy.
What if you steal Walker and Jordan Clarkson?
Would you attach
Walker
a pick
Kessler?
to Mitch to get those?
Jordan Clarkson and Walker Kessler. Yeah,
I think I would do it too.
I would love Walker Kessler.
My
sucks.
tone.
That's
would be,
elite.
My tone would be different if they made.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
You can bring Walker up the bench.
We just have to see what the Knicks do to fill out this roster. But as currently constructed, there are these question marks that are there, and because of the lack of depth, there's going to be a lot of stress on the starters to play a lot of minutes in the regular
Which
season.
they're not. They're used to that.
Yeah, but then they break down.
not Mikal.
Not
Hell,
Mikal.
he's an Iron Man.
Not Josh Hart.
But we
Facts.
broke down in the playoffs because of
And
those heavy
Brunson
minutes.
only broke down because he broke his hand. He
Yeah.
didn't break down.
I'm not worried about Brunson.
Yeah.
I'm worried about really OG and Cat. I got OG and Cat.
they-
those
I
are the two
believe
guys
in
that
Cat.
hurt.
Fake still got to worry about Brunson because this is probably year 2 of him ever doing this in his NBA career, having this much load, this much usage, and being like this used throughout the regular season because he wasn't doing this in Dallas. You know, last year was probably his first time really, and it wasn't even in the beginning of the year. It was kind of like towards the middle end where he really was just seeing.
And then had that playoff series versus Donovan.
Yeah, so it's no, you're wrong.
I'm talking Dallas.
I'm talking about last year.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about
No,
Dallas.
I'm talking about
man.
last year.
Gotcha.
Last year was when he really became that all NBA player, but he was getting a shit ton of usage. He was getting the ball a lot. So this is the second year he's doing that. I'm not saying he's gonna break down, but just keep your eyes open because Tibbs, we've seen it before. This is not something new. Tibbs does. And it's not bad, it's not good, it's just something he does. He likes to play his starters. He feel like his starters are the best in the league. He wants his starters out there to win him games. And sometimes, we've seen guys break down. I've seen it in my life with Joakim Noah, with Luol Deng, with Derrick Rose. These guys tend to break down. Luol Deng led the league in minutes like 3 years in a row. He was playing like 40 minutes a game. So these wings are gonna play 35 to 38 minutes every single night.
And I'm hoping Cat turns around the narrative. I want him to succeed in New York.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is I'm just bringing up the fact that, hey, this is something that has to change. I'm not just going to assume that it's not there. Like, this is something that we got to look at and keep an eye on, and we have to see if he improves off that. You know, it's a different situation. New York is different than Minnesota.
Yes,
it could bring out the best or the worst of him. We don't know. It's a big market. It's a big market, and if he plays a bad game, he's gonna get treated like shit.
He's gonna hear.
If he has a bad playoff series,
if he plays the way that he played in Game 7
gonna get
versus the
praised.
Nuggets,
They'll
they'll treat him like he's
Yeah.
one of the kings.
Yeah.
Listen,
New York
that's
for you.
the scale right now.
That's New York.
Part of me, I just feel like it was a little bit unfortunate because, you know, I really thought that if Randall stayed healthy last year, he was gonna make up for his playoff woes.
And I don't
in the past.
disagree, but that's kind of where if I'm a Knicks fan,
You are.
which I am. Thank you very much, Riv. I really do
You
appreciate
gotta stop
that.
saying if. You are.
Well, Cat's a big upgrade over Randall. in
And
the
that's
playoffs.
exactly where
just take it out,
that's
you
it.
just
We,
like, fuck
we
it.
end the conversation there. We got an upgrade.
Love you for what you've done.
Exactly.
but we gotta move
You
on.
started this.
Now we're gonna
Julius
finish
Randle
it.
started it. And Knicks fans will always love and respect what Julius Randle did for the franchise. But Karl Anthony Towns is, regardless of how he's performed in the playoffs, he's had some highs, he's had some lows. He's a significant upgrade from Randle in the playoffs.
Let's finish the story.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Now the Timberwolves, onto them. Do you think they're gonna be better this year?
I
really have to see
I
it.
still have concerns about the spacing. I know that you brought in Dante, and that's great for the perimeter in terms of people around the guard play around Anthony Edwards, but you still you lose one of the better shooters, big man shooters in the league. You bring in Dante. Julius can stretch, not a great stretch.
No.
I especially
They don't leave him open out there though.
They don't, and you shouldn't. But he's not great at stretching the
Below
floor.
league average.
He'll put pressure on the rim, like Anthony Edwards, which obviously will be great. But there's still a lack of shooting on that team. The one positive about the team, you already mentioned the flexibility financially. That's great. But when it comes to the spacing of the Minnesota Timberwolves, I still have my concerns there. Dante's going to be amazing for them shooting the basketball. Nas Reed with an uptick in minutes will be great at spacing the floor for them also. But you still lost Karl Anthony Towns, he's still one of the hearts and souls of Minnesota. I know that it's Anthony Edwards' team, but for sure you lost a pillar. Similar to how it's easier for the Knicks to move on from Randall to Karl Anthony Towns. It's not going to be as easy for Minnesota to move on from Karl Anthony Towns to Julius Randle. You'll get heart from Julius. He's one of the most hustle, gritty type players that there are at the power forward position. But you're still not getting this huge upgrade at defense either. It's not like Julius
It
Randle
stays the same pretty much.
So that's where
Just Rudy Gobert.
that's really what it comes down to. I think they'll be a great team. Do I think they got better? I can't say that. Do I think they got worse? I also can't say that.
For me, I think, first of all, I think they'll have one of the best benches in basketball.
I'm fine
I
with
think
that.
Probably the
Dante-
best.
Yeah, respect Houston.
OKC.
But them too. Jesus
Thank
Christ.
you.
But that's why I played it safe. One of the best benches
Nas
in the
Reed,
league.
Dante.
No, yeah, look,
It's insane.
Nas Reed, Dante,
Dillingham.
Nico Alexander Walker, Shoreham.
Rob Dillingham.
Who'd you say?
Dillingham.
Yeah, Shoreham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I think
Don't get disrespectful.
no, that's why I said Shoreham.
Joe Ingles.
See, this is where
Why
you
does he always do
got-
it?
He shot
got to do
43.5% from three last year.
Limited minutes. But I will say this though. For me, it's all about how is Chris Finch gonna make this work? Because I don't know if he's an offensive genius. I don't know if he's just and I like we talked about it last show. This offense looked funky without Mike Conley. It does.
Yeah.
Like they're probably their best passer. You know, he's a guy who's been in this league a long time. He understands pace, space. He has a really high IQ. That's no slouch to Ant Edwards. He's probably their best playmaker just because of the fact of how he can generate and create offensive plays for others and how he can just make plays. Mike Conley's one of those guys. And I think, we expect Ant Edwards to come into this season upgrading his playmaking for sure. Randall's a solid playmaker, but I'm just curious to see how this front court, not really worried about the back court. They play together enough. I'm really seriously seeing how this front court really plays together and how the offensive scheme is going to look. That's my worry. That's how I'm going to look at it. I don't know if they got better. I don't know if they got worse. I got to see it because I think they're still OKC, Dallas, Denver's still hanging around. They don't have the things that can stop Denver. You still have Gobert, but now how are you going to look again? Maybe Randall looks better, maybe he looks worse. I don't know. Like everything is all up for worries, and then you got other teams like the Lakers, the Pelicans, Memphis. They're on their way. So Was this a move to kind of put you in that conversation with Dallas and OKC? I don't know. Like, I don't know how much. So I really want to see how this offensive scheme looks. The financial flexibility is cool, but I feel like if you're coming off a WCF, you either keep your team or you make it slightly better. And I don't know if this move, does either. I understand moving off a Cat. That was a lot of money on the books. I get that part. And you're a small market team. You already traded a first and I think a protected for Rob Dillingham. So you're kind of banking on gearing up for that future with Ant Edwards and these other guys. I'm just really I'm seeing what Chris Finch can do. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see how he maneuvers with Jaden McDaniels, with Julius Randle. Another guy I'm excited to see how is Jaden McDaniels going to come in this season. There's probably going to be a lot on his game to improve. Rob Dillingham is going to have some expectations coming in. So this is going to be Nas Reed. Cat's been moved to give you money. How are you going to respond? How are you going to get better? How are you going to improve your game? How are you going to continuously impact this team? So there's a lot going on in Minnesota. I think Ant-Man is the proper leader for it. I'm excited to see how they respond to losing Cat, a guy who has essentially rebirthed their franchise. He's been one of their best players since Kevin Garnett. So I'm just keep my eye over there. It's exciting to see how Minnesota unfolds.
In the playoffs, I don't know what the hell this is going to look like.
Yeah, neither, bro.
I think they're going to be a better team, though. I think this does make them better. And when I look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's very disappointing that you trade Karl-Anthony Towns after a conference finals appearance. But I am 100% certain that once the regular season rolled around with Cat on this roster and they started out hot once again and were one of the top seeds in the West, which I think they would have been even with Cat, I think people, when the conversation came up and they were asked who's the biggest pretender in the West, I think everybody would have still said Minnesota because the offense, it can be so sporadic. So I think the reason why this move was made for flexibility purposes, 100%, but also trying to remain the same, if not similar, while having that flexibility, it's just having an out. Because if they played out this season with Karl-Anthony Towns, Nas Reed doesn't get signed back, Nickeil Alexander-Walker doesn't get signed back, and now you're over the second apron. You lost all of your depth. You're now banking on Rob Dillingham to make a major leap in year 2. And the Anthony Edwards window in his prime now gets shut even more because of how strapped you are to the current team. So I think this move gave them flexibility because 2 years from now, Randle and Rudy Gobert won't be on the books. That's a plus. How this fits basketball-wise, I think the starting lineup is going to have some kinks they're going to have to work out. I think one thing that is going to be great is that Randle now allows Anthony Edwards to play off the ball more. Anthony Edwards was actually a better catch and shoot, 3-point shooter than Karl-Anthony Towns over the last 2 or 3 seasons, I believe. He shot 42% on catch and shoot threes.
On media day?
What did he say?
He said something about how he learned the most from Steph playing off ball.
Yeah, and now he's going to play off ball even more now.
So now you're being moved by Anthony Edwards?
No, but he's moved by my goat.
Because Karl-Anthony Towns, he was a great spot-up shooter. He was like in the 90th percentile as a spot-up shooter, but he cannot drive and initiate offense for other players. And I think Julius Randle has gotten very underrated in that. Hoop Venue made a video about how the Knicks offense rate in the last 2 seasons, league average in the NBA was 115.5. The Knicks had a 118.5 offensive rating, and Randle and Robinson on the court together had a 120.6 offensive rating, and Randle and Hartenstein had a 121.8 offensive rating. So Randle has played with bad spacing before. What really excites me now, though, is last year when Anthony Edwards went to the bench, the Timberwolves were lifeless, even with Conley out there being a steady hand. It's because he can't attack the defense like he once could. But now you have Julius Randle out there leading the bench unit. I think about a bench unit of Rob Dillingham, Dante DiVincenzo, Alexander Walker, Julius Randle, and Nas Reed. That's going to be one of the best second units in the NBA. Easily. And Randle's going to play with the most spacing that he's ever had. I understand the spacing concerns, but I do think the Wolves now have more lineup versatility. They could close out games with Conley, Dante, Edwards, Nas Reed, and Gobert. They could close out games with Nas Reed and Randle together. They have multiple lineup combinations. They now have Dante, McDaniels, Alexander Walker, and Edwards from the wings to choose from. You have Dillingham and Conley. You have Nas Reed, Gobert, and Randle, whatever one of those combinations. There's more lineup combinations to this team, and I think it's going to help them stay in games more. It's going to keep Anthony Edwards fresher. But yes, the starting 5 of it, the spacing is going to be wonky, especially if Jaden McDaniels doesn't become a consistent 3-point shooter. Because now that is him, Randall, and Gobert, all three guys you can sag off from. But I do think this improved their depth, and we can't ignore that because we just seen two teams in the Eastern Conference make the playoffs because of their depth. The Pacers and the Magic had two of the best benches in the NBA, and the Pacers made the conference finals because of how great their bench was. Most of the games versus the Knicks, it was the Pacers bench that came in and just obliterated our unit. So now the Timberwolves have that type of versatility and they have that type of advantage for them while also having flexibility. If Randall can perform in the playoffs, which is a huge question mark, then we can start talking about a hypothetical ceiling. But Naz Reid as a starter last year averaged 17 and 8. Dante averaged 18, 40% from 3. You bring in Randall 24, 10 and 5. I just don't see how, this is just being very simplistic with it. I just don't see how the Wolves lose a 23 and 10 player. They gain a 24, 10 and 5 player and a 16 point per game player, and they don't get better. I think they got better.
No, I agree. Like a lot of my decision making with if the Timberwolves got better was because of their bench depth. I think you guys are all right. It's going to be a little funky because Julius Randle sometimes does like to have a little bit of tunnel vision and to call his number. But he's like the Knicks were still successful with him when he was playing, especially this past season. Like we were all saying, we felt that they could have made a run if he played. I don't want to say Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards are similar players, but like they're both go-to options offensively. And I think Julius Randle has the ability to learn to play around them. I agree with you guys. Like you guys all said, the bench depth is very important, especially in the Western Conference. You know, that could make or break a series. Like you said, the Indiana Pacers, when they had TJ McConnell coming in to perform, a couple other players that helped them propel in certain series. So a lot of that, I agree with Joel in that sense. In terms of like the starting five, I don't know if it's gonna be a match made in heaven right away. I think Chris Finch is going to have a lot to work with. But I do think that a lot of people that I've seen are slighting some of what Randall can do. He is very good at driving and kicking the basketball.
Sure.
He's a 25, 10, and 6 guy. He's made an All-NBA before. I don't think he'll have a problem adjusting his role. He's played with people that can't space the floor. Mitchell Robinson, he still put up great production offensively. So I'm really excited to see what the Timberwolves can do this year. I think their defense is going to be just fine. If anything, I mean, it may sound a little crazy. I feel like Julius Randle is kind of like, it's not saying much, but I would prefer him as a defender over Karl Anthony Towns.
In space,
sure, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, I think this was good. There's no way you add a 16 points per game shooter, a sniper who shot 41% on 9 attempts. There's no way you add an All-NBA player that was giving you 25, 10, and 6 or whatever the case may be. There's just no way that you get worse with that. And on top of that, Naz Reid, your bench depth. You have a young rising superstar. I think this was a great move. I was telling Joel earlier that it's really early to say, but I think the Timberwolves made out better in this trade, in my opinion, though. But only time is going to tell.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Pick Us Out podcast. Very long podcast, folks. I think almost 3 hours.
Was it 3 hours?
It definitely maybe was like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
It didn't feel like
it.
Well, I know because right now it's at 1:30, and I know before we ended, it was at like one, definitely over 1.
It was like in an hour. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick Us Out Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick Us Out Podcast. I want to thank JC for pulling up on the show. Last minute notice, but still held it down. Shout out to you. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.